Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. My friend sitting over there is Jack Cochran. Jack, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm starting to get sore.
That's not good.
Cloud I told you that comes over me, and it just feels like it's pressing me down. Yeah, it started. But I took medicine, so we're hoping it's gonna back the fuck up off me because I don't like that shit.
Nice.
But otherwise, I'm well, man. I'm in a decent mood. Had a fun time gaming with Satsu tonight, and saw a lot of stupid on the internet, which makes me happy.
Dude, I got up from a nap, turned on my computer to the protest like you do, and the first thing I hear is Concrete Reporting talking about how they're calling that little park area the Chinookan Land Occupied Protest. Or
yes.
Autonomous. Yeah, the clap. Autonomous protest or something.
It's autonomous territory. It's the clap.
No, it's the clap.
I agree with you, and I think you and I must have seen it around the same time because he had just been talking to a guy with no shirt. Did you see him talking to that guy?
No, he had mentioned he had somebody that had just walked away. So I think I got there probably 10 seconds after you did.
So I end the stream with Satsu. Me and him talked for a few minutes, and then I went over to the protest like I do. And he's talking to this dude. Apparently, there's a Chaz embassy.
An embassy?
Yes.
You can't have an embassy for a country that doesn't exist.
There's a Chaz embassy, and there was a guy there who's from the CHOP, and he told us he is an anarcho-primitivist.
So he's just homeless.
Yeah. He doesn't wear shoes and he doesn't wear a shirt because he's in the whole primitive thing.
Did he walk down there?
Reportedly.
If he walked down there, I'll respect him a little more. But if he got a ride or rode on a bicycle or a scooter, fuck that guy. He's a hypocrite.
He also told us how much he needs money to continue his work because he's going to go on a nationwide tour because of his business that he did with the Chaz, the chap.
Whatever.
The hippie commune there.
Dumb.
Anarcho-primitivist. Like, dude, you just made that shit up.
They've been around for a while. They're just
That's
stupid.
Not a thing.
Yeah, it's called being homeless. You're just a hermit.
That's a poor homeless person because he doesn't even have a shirt on his back.
Yeah. Well, you can only do that crap out on the West Coast. You try and do that out in like New York area, you're gonna die. You're gonna freeze to death.
You can't do that shit for very long in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, they snuggle up with Sasquatch.
I suppose so.
And then they go home and get money from their mom and stay there most of the time.
Hey, Magagi says it sounds fake. I know, right? But and then Concrete Reporting gives the guy a big old hug. I'm like, you just hugged a half-naked man you just met.
Yeah, I don't hug people I know.
No.
Gross. Especially shirtless people. Man, you better be a hot chick that's bathed recently. Ew.
By the way, neither one of them wearing a mask.
Of course not.
And we know Concrete has his because did you see him yesterday when he was looking damn near black block with his black mask up and his hat way down? Like,
I still say he's waiting for the one that says affliction on it.
Oh, did you see when he had to go over to the food tent? Some guy
looked away.
Some guy comes up to him, hey, I need you to come over here with me to the food tent. He's like, all right, lead the way. And he gets over there, and the guy comes back to me and goes, we've just had some people from Seattle come down here, and they're agitated. What do you call them? Not agitators. I forget what it was, but basically he was talking about Villain Phoenix. They were making sure he wasn't Villain Phoenix. They didn't say that, but it was people who had been at the Chaz Chop area, and they're keeping an eye out for him.
Dude, this guy doesn't look anything like Villain.
Nothing like him. No, it wasn't instigators or infiltrators. I forget that. That's what it was, Prospero or Circus. Yeah, they were looking. There was problematic people. Problematic people.
Of course, they're problematic.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, problematic. He means Villain Phoenix. Yeah, I so enjoy watching the riots, man. It's so much fun. But they're so much stupid. They're really quiet today. They're back over at the Justice Center. There's not very many of them there. Not many at all.
Yeah, because probably saw Ted Wheeler posting about how the feds need to quit fucking around and causing problems for these people.
Yeah.
Because they're instigators.
I'm telling you, I can't wait till they go to Teddy's house.
Yeah.
Gorbag, have a good night, man. Thanks so much for watching already. And exactly, Della Hay says, reminder, this show is brought to you by you. If you like this, please hit the like button, please share, and consider throwing money at Jack and myself because, well, this is how we eat.
Yeah, I like food. Have a good one, Gorbag.
I am not an anarcho-primitivist. I'm a capitalist through and through.
Yeah, evil capitalist.
I need money so I can buy shit. This is my job. I talk to you guys to entertain you, hopefully, and you laugh and you throw money at us because we're funny. Throw money at the clowns, man, right?
Clowns are creepy.
Well, not us. We're
the
non-creepy clowns. Should we I'm a ramenist. Should we look at some of the news today that's just absolutely asinine?
Oh, you know we should, because there's a lot of dumb shit going on.
Where did what the hell? Oh, okay,
Grant said he threw money at the screen. It's not working.
You're not doing it right. Somebody show him how to do it. Oh my God, I lost the Hillary video. Where the hell did that go?
Oh, it got sad.
I told you something would go wrong. I had everything else.
It always goes wrong.
God bless it. Now, hang on. I can find it pretty easily because it was sent to me earlier. Here she is in all of her really old lady glory. And with Trevor Noah sporting a natural. You honkies probably don't know what that is. Hang on a second. Thank you for the thumbs up, lemon shrouded angel. Very kind of you. All right. Trevor's sporting his natural. You ready for this?
Yep.
Have you seen this already, Jack?
Yeah.
Remember, guys, this is on Comedy Central. Yeah. Trevor Noah, former First Lady, Senator, all-around horrible wench, Hillary Clinton.
President is that finally we will see how illegitimate.
Can you hear it okay?
Yep.
Okay.
His being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was and how he was involved in the seeking of foreign help and then the utilization of it and how Roger Stone was critical to that. But you know, unless Trump is defeated at the polls in November,
see how they just minimize that black man?
Really know everything there is to know about this really deep, ongoing dismantling of institutions and undermining the rule of law, and the original sin of the way that he actually won the election.
Bitch is still out there being sour about the election, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's never letting that go. Look, I think Hillary has some control issues, and this was not the plan. Her plan was to win. She was supposed to win. Everybody was behind her, and those fucking plebeians got in the way, and she lost.
And we'll never know the damage he's done until he's out of there, and then we'll even know how bad the original sin of how he was elected. The original sin.
The original sin of using the system. What a monster.
Because he tried to get people to do stuff for him.
I think she's a true believer when it comes to the Russian nonsense. Because she was already angry at the Russians and wanted to bomb the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if she's totally bought into that conspiracy theory.
Well, don't forget, she ended up looking like a complete jackass over the Russian thing way back when she first became Secretary of State.
Oh, with that stupid reset button?
With the reset button that said something else like nuke them all. I forget what it actually said. But it was supposed to say reset in Russian, and it was supposed to be a button to we'll reset our relations with each other. And she ended up looking like a complete goddamn jackass over that. And I don't think she ever got over it.
Probably not. Plus, I'm sure the Russian press humiliated her over that because it was fucking stupid. Don't try and virtue signal and half-ass it.
Yeah, so when we're coming up to the election, she is a really, really big advocate of no-fly zones in Syria, which is fine, except for that would have put us in direct conflict with Russian aircraft. Well, you know, they'd have just stayed out because they were told to, Jack.
Yeah. She would have shot him down. We'd been at war with Russia 15 minutes after she got elected.
Danger says, does she mean the Steele dossier that she paid for? Now, be fair, Dangerous. She only paid for half of it. The DNC covered the other half. That's the unspoken part of the Russian collusion that never gets mentioned except for on this show, and a couple of other people have started banging that drum. But Hillary Clinton, her campaign, and the Democratic National Committee paid Fusion GPS to hire a British spy to go talk to Russians for dirt on President Trump. The only ones we know for a fact were colluding with Russians was the Hillary campaign.
Yeah.
Through an intermediary, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay to have foreign interference from a British spy. Nobody, they played that up like that was a good thing, Jack. Like he's a spy. He was a spy, so he's obviously a good source of information.
Yeah,
like,
he's noble and shit.
That's a spy interfering in our election, and you don't care.
A British spy. One of our allies had somebody helping. I guess he was retired or whatever, but it's still the principle of it.
Look, I'm sorry. I have always heard once a spy, always a spy. That's not a game you get out of.
No, you just use your info in different ways and you stop working for your local government.
And I don't know if that's the same over there in MI6 or what, but at least with the CIA, that's, I mean, the unspoken or the unwritten rule. Once a spy, always a spy. This was let's give him all the credit, a former British spy using his spy connections to talk to Russians to write a report about how Donald Trump liked to watch women pee on beds.
Yeah.
Original sin, Jack. Original sin.
Yeah, I'm tired of that phrase already. I'm looking over at the live protest right now on Izon's channel.
Yeah.
And Concrete is talking to Arix.
Oh, really?
Arix is porking up. Just saying.
Is she? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, she's getting a little pudgerific there around the old belly area. All this free ribs at the clap. Yeah. Probably not doing her any favors.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe she's doing it on purpose to insulate herself from those rubber bullets.
Oh, that might be. Plus, it helps shield against the male gaze.
Oh, it really does.
It really does.
I mean, we still look at you. We're just like, oh, my God. Thank you, Kyle, who says, morons to the left of me, idiots to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Be careful calling me middle. People like, he's not middle. He's a far righty. I'm a far righty, Jack. But Danger says this is bullshit, or this bullshit was so dirty. They did this stuff assuming Clinton would win and no one would ever know. Yes, 100%. That was a 100% what they were going for. And this is not just with the Steele dossier. This goes to everything that became a part of, including the Carter Page FISA warrants, all the dirty shit they pulled against the Trump campaign using the federal fucking government. Yeah, all of that shit. They're like, well, she's going to win, so it doesn't matter. You can do all this. And that's why it's so dangerous, and that's why people should be paying attention to it. And instead, they're like, no, look over here, look over here. This guy talked to somebody at a bar once. That's where the Carter Page thing came from. He was in a bar, in Australia?
Somewhere
like that. He runs into some Australian ambassador and he talks about news that's in the fucking news. He didn't say anything to this ambassador that wasn't on the fucking news. And this guy goes running to the FBI. Oh, you need to look into this guy. He knows things. He knows stuff he shouldn't know. Like, does he? I mean, because CNN just said it. Maybe it was some of that stuff that Chris Cuomo told us we're not allowed to know. Only the press can know. The press, yeah. See, when the press tells you things, you got to forget it immediately because only they can know that stuff.
Did you see what Chris was it that fucking idiot that's always in the briefings said today?
Oh, Acosta, yeah. I have stories about that. Should we get to that?
Oh, sure.
All right, let's move over to there. That is this one here. I don't have his thing pulled up. I did respond. I don't know if I even responded to it. But here's the story. Trump Rose Garden press conference under scrutiny from journalists and commentators after turning into a campaign speech. That's how Twitter has written it up, Jack.
That's fucking stupid.
During a Rose Garden press conference about Hong Kong and China on Tuesday, President Trump shifted his focus to attack presidential nominee Joe Biden and the Democrats. The, quote, campaign-like address is a rare sight in the Rose Garden, which is not typically used to make overt political attacks, according to the Washington Post. The Hatch Act, which limits partisan activity by federal employees, does not prevent the president from expressing political rhetoric in the White House. However, several political reporters and commentators condemned the move. CNN and MSNBC also cut their broadcast as the address turned away from official business.
Maybe they cut away because they're a bunch of communists.
Old Jimmy Acosta was having a baby about this today. Just like having a fucking baby over it. Let me pull up his dumbass tweeter. Acosta.
Oh, real quick. Thank you. This is Kyle. Before I give you this, I need you to do a cartwheel first.
Okay, so here's what old Jimmy tweeted out. Trump soiled the White House Rose Garden with that performance. Presidents do not use the Rose Garden in that kind of naked political fashion. That was not a press conference, as the White House described it. It was a campaign rally disguised as a press conference. It was a bait and switch. You know, you can say that about the reporting Jim Acosta does.
Yeah. I got a lot of likes on my response, which was pretty much that.
Oh, was it? I didn't even see it. But we're just like-minded, Jack.
I know, right? We're awesome.
We are indeed. Reporters don't use the Rose Garden for that kind of naked political bullshit.
Right.
Usually. But my favorite one of all of these I saw today was Miss Amy Vanderpool, who tells us that she is, a writer, lawyer, quipster, and wonk, related to Audrey Hepburn, which means fuck all, analyst, contributor, and published author repped by somebody. I write Shiro newsletter. This woman is followed by the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Well, she needs a Shiro.
We need a Shiro. She said
Someone
this.
To come in and nag you.
This entire Trump press conference in the Rose Garden is a violation of the Hatch Act.
I don't think she knows what the Hatch Act is.
The Hatch Act is a law, you guys, that prevents federal employees from engaging in political activity in the course of their job. You know who it specifically exempts?
The president?
The president of the United States, as well as the vice president, specifically exempt. You know why they're exempt? Because they're on duty 24/7.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people talking about the Hatch Act. Yeah, exactly. Eval Potato, he literally can't violate it. There's no way for him to. He's exempt from the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Johnny Hellcat. Related to Audrey Hepburn, being overrated must be genetic. Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Assassin brings up a good point. What about when Obama trotted out the fake doctors and had the deserter guy from Bergdahl, I think his name was,
Mm-hmm.
and he said the Aloha snack bar comment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was overly political.
They're reaching on this, but this is what happens so often. Somebody will get upset at something Trump does, or any politician for that matter, but mostly Trump these last few years. And somebody will go, oh, that's a violation of the Hatch Act. And a whole bunch of people, without knowing what the fuck it says, will run out, he violated the Hatch Act. Like, he literally, he can't. It's impossible.
Look,
y'all are fucking retarded.
When has facts ever stopped somebody in the media?
Do you remember the second thing she listed in her bio?
No, I just assumed smelly vaginas in there somewhere.
Writer, lawyer, quipster, and wonk.
A lawyer should probably have some of these legal book things sitting around that she could look up, or access to, I don't know, Google.
She lists herself as a lawyer and a wonk. I'm assuming policy wonk or political wonk, either of the two. You should know it there too. Or at the very least, go look it the fuck up when you see it trending all over the place. Because I know this bitch didn't think of it on her own. There ain't no way.
No.
She ain't that smart. But yeah, she is followed by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Alyssa Milano, Ted Lieu, Sophane, Cory Booker, and Terry Crews. People that we share in common. Isn't that neat? Yeah. You know, I get annoyed at this stuff because it really isn't that hard to go look it up, Jack. And even the guy who started it, even Mr. Jim Acosta himself throwing his fit, which, by the way, Jim Acosta's tweet, 105,000 likes as of right now. He didn't even claim it, you know? Somebody later on went, doesn't this have something to do with like Hatch? I saw one asshole actually tag Orrin Hatch and goes, you wrote this, right? What do you think? This was written in 1939. That's how old the Hatch Act is. Now, there have been amendments to it since, but it's like, it's not named after Orrin Hatch.
Well, it depends. Is Orrin Hatch a vampire?
The guy it's named after is long since dead.
No, that doesn't sound anything like Hatch.
You know how easy it is to just look this shit up?
Yeah, it takes a Google search of Wikipedia.
There's a government site that lays out the Hatch Act for you in simple detail. I know. I was over there reading it. Oh, man. I see. It's like, oh, God, shut up. You're stupid. Stop spreading stupid. If you don't know, shut the fuck up. And a lot of these people don't know. They just repeat and repeat and repeat. And you know what? In a month, somebody's going to be telling me, do you remember when he violated the Hatch Act by having that speech in the Rose Garden? That was confirmed, you know. Dumb people everywhere.
Oh, Polly's in chat.
Hey, Polly, how you doing?
Oh, we got a lot of familiar faces in the chat today.
Which one is this? Oh, we got to talk about Ivanka for a little bit.
Okay.
Ivanka Trump promotes can of beans, violates ethics standards. She what? She put out a tweet today holding up a can of Goya beans. Goya is run by that guy who said we were lucky to have Trump as a leader. The left has been freaking out about it. She held up a can of the beans and said, if it's Goya, it has to be good. And this idiot, this is for the intelligencer, Jack.
Irony.
Yeah. Oh. In her effort to make a can of beans the latest totem of the culture war, the tweet from the senior advisor to the president also appears to violate the ethics standards for executive branch employees who may not use public office for private gain or, quote, for the endorsement of any product, end quote. Past examples of White House. Okay, that's all we need to know, is that that's where he ended. He doesn't go on to say anything else. The rest of it, I'll read the rest just to be fair. Past examples of White House officials endorsing products, specifically Trump family products, include Kellyanne Conway telling a Fox News audience to go buy Ivanka's stuff, and the president's advertising of his Doral resort as the potential site of the G7. That is the end of the article. You know, I'm going to put this on the screen too. I don't want anybody accusing me of doing what these shitbags do. Okay, see right there? This is what I just read you. This whole paragraph right there. Now I want to go back to what he said. Who may not use public office for gain or, and this is what he quotes, for the inducement or endorsement of any product. Are you with me?
Yeah.
You see this link right here, ethical standards?
Uh-oh.
It leads you to here, to Cornell Law School, where they tell us section 2635.702, use of public office for private gain. These are the rules. And this part right here, for the endorsement of any product, is what he quotes. Shall we read the whole thing and get the context of what it actually says? Why the fuck not? An employee shall not use his public office for his own private gain, for the endorsement of any product, service, or enterprise, or for the private gain of friends, relatives, or persons with whom the employee is affiliated in a non-governmental capacity, including non-profit organizations of which the employee is an officer or member, and persons with whom the employee has or seeks employment or business relations. As far as I know, Ivanka doesn't work for the Goya company. She's not like friends with the guy who did it. He's just a business leader that got invited to the White House. She has nothing to gain personally from this endorsement. You can't do it for your private gain. That's the whole point. Or the gain of your friends and family.
I kind of read that tweet as a joke anyway.
Not that you can never endorse a product. Like, if Ivanka one day was like, I really love Taco Bell. Oh my God, she just violated ethics standards. No, there's a reason it's written that way. But that little douchebag, the intelligencer, oh shitbag. Which, by the way, part of New York Magazine. Gotta love those shitbags. Put it in there with only enough to piss off people knowing they're not going to go fucking read. And that half of them, if they did, wouldn't know what the fuck that meant anyway.
Look, reading was disallowed shortly after comedy.
I hate liars in the press, man.
Is that redundant?
Yeah, there's unless there is some familiarity between them that hasn't been made public, that is just a fucking lie. As infuriating as that was, Jack. Should we get into the big story of the night?
Sure.
I think I'm going to read a tweet first. I want to read a tweet first. Nick Cannon said white people are evil and they pressed the button on him immediately. They said if the black community won't cancel him, then they'll do it themselves, and had his contracts deaded by the end of the business day. This is when the community should rally around and uphold him, to be honest. Now, Jack, I need to be clear here. I do not think Nick Cannon should be canceled for what he said. I do not believe that he should be shut down for what he said. I believe everybody should be making fun of him for being a dumbass. I think he should be called a racist because he is one. I think somebody should probably get him the fuck away from Louis Farrakhan. But I don't believe he should have been canceled. I liked this tweet. Those white people shut him down immediately. Like, can you imagine how fast that shutdown would have been if it was a white person who had said this about Jews?
Oh, it would have been an hour at the most.
I also like this tweet because this is one of the few that I've seen that actually mentions white people instead of just Jews.
Yeah, that's true. Most of them were directed at the chosen ones.
Right. And he was, though, don't get me wrong, he was being, what he said was anti-Semitic, sure, absolutely. But he was also talking about all white people. He's talking about both groups and at times overlapping as the same. Now, I feel we have to give the audience context. I need to warn you guys, what we're about to watch, I am showing racism on my channel. But it's not from the Klan or the alt-right. It's from Nick Cannon.
So that means it's probably okay.
Well, I think it would have been if he had just stuck to Jews. Or sorry, just stuck to white people, but he did say the Jew thing in there too.
Yeah.
So that got him in trouble. What you're about to see is racist. There's no getting around that. I do not support it. I support his right to say it. I support his right to say whatever stupid fucking shit he wants as long as he's not encouraging criminal behavior. But be warned, racism is about to follow. Now, Jack, if there's a part you need me to pause this, just let me know.
Okay.
I will have to pause occasionally. You know the rules. We have to stop and comment or we'll get in trouble. We should be allowed to just show the whole 2 minutes and 19 seconds and then comment, but that's not how fair use works. I mean, technically we could get away with it, but I'm not willing to have that fight. So guys, we will have to stop. This is Nick Cannon. This is some dude, I don't know his name, but this is who he's talking to. This guy doesn't say much anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is Nick Cannon, and this is the stupid shit he said.
Let's go to what it really is then. When we talk about the power of melanated people.
Oh, Polly said that's Professor Griff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew I'd heard who it was, but like I said, he doesn't talk, so but that's what Public Enemy.
I can't keep track of who's who and part of what group.
All right, I want to repeat that part.
Then let's go to what it really is then. When we talk about the power of melanated people.
The power of melanated people.
That's some of that Hotep shit where you get superpowers from having sunlight absorbed through your skin.
Can they go super melanated like Super Saiyan?
Yes. That's how black holes are formed.
Oh, shit. Okay, so make sure you don't piss them off too much.
Yeah, that's science.
All right.
When we talk about who we really are as gods and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So
we fear black, Jack, because we're not melanated. We don't have that melanated power.
It's true. You're like, whoa, that dude's super powerful. That's some like. This is like somebody took a Klan handbook, changed a few things, and then republished it.
Uh-huh. I just think melanated sounds like some kind of marketing campaign like Crest now with melanin. It's been melanated. The power of melanin. Have they ever done...
Are you hearing Michael Bolton in your head too, going, the power power of melanin.
I am now, you shithead.
You're welcome.
All right, we're only 16 seconds in. We're afraid. What we just stopped at, guys, is white people are afraid because we don't have melanin. Now he doesn't tell us if Asians have any fear. Asians got a little more melanin than us, right? Most of them. And Latinos, they have more. So is it like a scale?
I'm not sure. I've watched the Hidden Colors documentaries, and they're very hilarious for one, but there's so much wedged in there that it's hard to remember everything because you're laughing quite a lot. But there is a part where they say that ninjutsu was invented by black people and given to the Japanese, who kind of stole it and claimed credit for it. So it's a supremacist movement, to be sure. So I don't think they like the Asians either.
For anybody who was wondering about whether or not this was going to be supremacist, just look at the fists in the background.
Yeah.
All right. God damn it.
So then when you see what, Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear in that
genetic annihilation
deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion.
There was a lot of stupid said in that last 20 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Melanin comes with compassion. And white people who get power somehow, even though they're not powerful, they lack that compassion because they don't have black skin. I feel like that's not science, Jack.
It's pseudoscience. That's a form of science, right?
I don't think you can even call it that, man. That's some made up bullshit some hippies are smoking, thinking up.
Well, I think it goes beyond that. It's borderline fantasy, where like elves and shit exist.
Yeah.
It's, magical powers, superpowers from the sun. That's some weird raw worshipping bullshit. Stop pointing out hate facts.
What happened?
Just pointing out some hate facts being said.
Oh.
Look, he said, however they got the power. We all know how they got the power. It's the power of Grayskull.
By the power of Grayskull. Ready?
Yep.
It doesn't get any smarter, guys.
No.
Melanin comes with soul that we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully.
Jack, how much compassion was there in Chop when that 16-year-old got shot?
0.
All right, I'm just checking.
Are a little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan.
You know, he didn't have to tell me Minister Farrakhan before this.
Right?
I had no doubt where this bullshit was coming from. For those of you who don't know, Minister Farrakhan is a fucking racist. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan is a goddamn racist. He hates white people, and he really, really hates Jews.
Now, if I remember correctly, back when they did the Million Man March, during that speech, he mentioned something about alien spaceships coming to beam up all the black people.
Did he really?
Yeah. I think it was that speech, but he said that one time. I was like, you're fucking kidding me. But in that clip we just watched, that little segment, he said they're a little less.
Yes.
As in, white people are subhuman.
Yeah, and he goes into it a little more here. Let's we were at 41 when we stopped last time, so we'll just bring it right back. Here we go.
With soul that we call it.
They got the soul, man. That's what connects them and keeps them compassionate. Unless there's a 16-year-old driving a car too close to chop.
Or they're in South Chicago anywhere.
Yeah, a 1-year-old at a barbecue in New York.
And sisters, that's the melanin that connects us.
Right.
So the people that don't have it
Right.
are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually.
Yeah, see, we need to address that, because when he says they're a little less, a lot of people might be waiting for him to add another word there, you know, a little less compassionate, a little less intelligent, you know, a little less strong. No, yeah, it's human. They're just a little less. You're less of a human being if you're not melanin proficient. Why did he get fired? Now, again, I don't think he should have got fired for this. I think he should be mocked till the end of time for it. But I do not agree with him getting fired for what he said here. Anyhow.
Actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun. That
Jack.
Yes,
when did
sir.
the sun go out on white people?
Well, apparently, when you go up into the mountains, the sun can't find you there. I don't know if we were hanging out with some dwarves in the caves, maybe fighting off some goblins or something. I'm not sure. But the sun just can't find you on the mountains. It's just a fact of science. The higher up you go, the less sun you can get. It's a fact.
You know, the worst sunburns I've ever got have been on overcast days. The rays still come through. You can still get sunburned outside. You know why? There's fucking sunlight there.
I don't think that's how that works. See, the clouds are in league because the clouds are also white most often. When they're gray, they've been absorbing melanin to pour water on hippies. I have no idea. I didn't think that part out. But the clouds are white, so they're protecting the people of the Caucasus Mountains or whatever. So, because that's where the Caucasoids get their name. The mountain of Caucasus.
Caucasus.
Yeah.
When they went to the mountain of Caucasus and they didn't have that sun to give them, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, look, your weird mountain fetish. Yeah, I know the sun doesn't shine on mountains. That's just a decolonized fact. I learned it in shaman class.
All right.
That the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting.
All right, time out. Didn't he just tell us we didn't have sun?
Yeah, but because we were up in the Shadowlands, which are on top of mountains, when we'd come down to the surface world from the upside down, the sun would deteriorate us as we got exposed. We were only safe with our dwarven brethren
under the mountain. Right. He knows it was on top of a mountain and not through it, right?
No, I don't think it makes a difference. But Evolved Potato corrected me. Darker clouds rain life-giving water. So the only holy clouds are the darker ones, laden with life-giving water. Thank you, Evolved.
I'm sorry for stopping so often, guys. But I do want to hear that part again.
Yeah.
Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of
the power of the sun.
That the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting.
He did. When they don't have the power of the sun started to deteriorate them. This is dumber than I even remember it. All right, here we go.
Acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil.
All right, so we go up into the mountains and we can't get the power of the sun, which starts to the sun itself starts to deteriorate us at that point when we can't get the power. It takes it. It's like when Thor lost his hammer, right?
No, it's more like when Loki saw his reflection or something. Because Thor having a hammer would imply that he had power, but really all their power is stolen. See?
Oh, fair enough. So then we come down and we feel bad about ourselves because we can't deal with the sun anymore. The sun ain't giving us power, so we're upset. We're sad. He actually said low self-esteem. And our only choice was to turn evil.
Yeah, we learned that from the mountain goats who taught us their dark magical ways in the shadowlands of the mountaintops.
Jack, which is worse, that he said this out loud or that he believes it?
I'm pretty sure he actually believes this crap. He might be putting on a show for his guest, but
I believe he believes it. But which is worse, saying it out loud or believing it in the first place?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I don't know. I've had a lot of fun fucking with him on Twitter today and getting hate mail back. But I think the whole thing is so silly. Like, the whole concept literally sounds like a fantasy novel to me.
It kind of does. It sounds like he was watching Lord of the Rings while listening to Farrakhan, and it just got fucked up in his head.
Yeah, like, did Farrakhan write a dark fantasy novel that never got published? And then he's like, hey, how can I work this into my kooky belief system?
Farrakhan is trying to lead his people back to the One Ring.
Oh. But that gay couple threw it in the fire to solidify their love.
Yeah, he doesn't like gay people either. Farrakhan is not a friend of homosexuals. He doesn't like many people, to be honest. He's kind of a horrible person. All right, let's get back to Mount Doom here.
The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight. Okay.
in order to survive.
Time out. Back up. We got to hear that list again. Listen to the things you have to do in order to survive.
Flight. Okay.
In order to survive.
Whoops.
Exactly.
So then the way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight. Okay.
in order to survive.
Exactly.
Rob and steal, rape and kill. It's the only way we were able to survive as a species, Jack, without our powerful melanin.
Well,
to keep us compassionate.
We are a little less, so the crime statistics would not bear out what he's saying.
Not even close. He's accusing whites of having a criminal nature. Yeah, he absolutely is. It's not our fault. It's kind of what he's saying. So that's kind of okay. We're just animals, though, which we'll get to.
Oh, hold on. Polly pointed out this goes back way before Farrakhan, all the way back to the 30s with W.D. Fard. This trash floated around for almost a century. So they've had time to refine this fantasy tale and make it like really exciting. Like maybe it's like Superman and their powers have changed over time. Like Superman just used to be able to jump really far, and now he can fly and do X-ray vision and shit.
Slay white women in a single bound.
Although now I feel like doing some extracurricular reading because this novel sounds awesomely funny.
Yeah. Frank, thank you so much. Who says this is supposed to be going to my motorcycle parts fund, but when will someone point out to them that melanin reduces the penetration of sun rays? That's why we're lighter, so we can absorb vitamin D from the sun more in the northern hemisphere.
Look, that is your colonialist hate facts.
Frank, you're putting too much thought into this. And by thought, I mean actual thought. You got to just okay, if you want this to make a lot of sense to you, I'm not kidding. Get really high. Get really high. Turn on Lords of the Rings. Just fast forward to any point in it. Turn off the sound and let Nick tell you the story. You will be like, fuck. Especially if you happen to catch it at the part where they're walking up the mountain and all the snow.
Yeah, and see if you could invert the color scheme.
For God's sake.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Melanated people.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
Animals.
Yeah, they're just animals. They don't know nothing.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I won't say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
And there's where this one stops. I didn't go find a longer one because I couldn't take anymore.
Well, this was probably the best clip anyway. Calling white people savages. Yeah, that's like right out of the Klan handbook.
You take that, you reverse it in any manner. You're a white guy and you say that, you're going to lose your bank account.
Oh,
you're not just going to lose your job. They're going to take away your ability to do financial transactions.
Yeah, you will be hunted to the ends of the earth and mocked relentlessly for the rest of your life. It will ruin you.
This is a good time to remind you, we're brought to you by you. We are so fragile in our melanin that we need your money to help us get more sun power. I'm trying to have melanin injections. I'm not sure where you inject them, though.
I think you know where they'll inject them.
Guys, we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you can, toss a dime or two at me and Jack. So, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Again, I need to be very clear on this. I'm on his side with his ability to say this. I don't think he should be canceled. If somebody did, I understand within the political environment we're in. I don't support it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what he said is absolutely fucking retarded.
Oh, yeah. But lots of crazy people say crazy things.
There is literally no science to what he said.
No, none whatsoever.
In his world, white people who apparently used to be black moved into the mountains and they got too far away from the sun. And that made them weak. So the only thing they could do is rob, steal, rape, and kill. Those were rob and steal, Jack. We're some fucking bastards.
Well, you don't just rob someone, you steal from them too. I don't know what any of that means.
We wouldn't do any of that if we still had our original black skin. Because if we had our original black skin, we'd have soul. We don't have souls, you guys.
Well, now, see, I've heard alternate takes on this because I've heard that the Neanderthals are like a separate subset, and that's where we spawned from.
Dangerous says even L. Ron Hubbard is saying, what the fuck is he on about?
Right? So, yeah, there's a lot of crazy going on here. And I don't know how to process it without us getting in real trouble. So,
well, let's talk about some of the things he says. We're the real savages. That's what he says. White people have acted savagely, absolutely. But so have black tribes, so have Indian tribes, so have every fucking race. Go back and look at the wars in Asia, for fuck's sake. These weren't niceties. They didn't knock on people's door. Can we please have your land? Oh, thank you so much. We didn't invent raping. We didn't invent killing. We didn't invent savagery. The noble Indian, all he would do is cry if he saw litter.
True.
Forget about scalping. White people made him do that.
That is hate fact.
Forget about killing any of the males when you take over a different tribe and only keeping the ones that would be slaves. Forget about the fact that the slave trade to the United States, they went over there and bought them from Africans. Black people would never do that to their soul brothers. It's such nonsense to point to any one group in history and go, they're the savages. We've all done it. But to this point that I want to talk about that soul connection there. I want to talk about the soul connection because you mentioned crime statistics, Jack. And there's an important one for this soul connection. Just like with any race, the vast majority of blacks killed in the United States are killed by other black people. Apparently, one of them went into the mountain and came back down a little lighter than they should have. Because that's the only way that could happen, right? Because they have more empathy. They have more compassion.
Well, yeah, that monster came down and no doubt tried to ravage the community, and he was clearly a monster.
It's such fucking nonsense, man. And again, I have no problem with anybody making fun of this guy or ripping into him or doing what we're doing and pointing out that what he said is not only hilarious for all the wrong reasons, but absolutely fucking retarded. By all means, don't cancel the guy. I don't want this shit said in private and other people believing it. Let it get out there and air out. Let's let people hear the kind of shit that Farrakhan induces in other people. Because he is held up as this icon, Jack. Presidents used to all go get their picture taken with Farrakhan. You had to prove you hated white people, I guess.
I don't know. There's a lot of crazies out there.
Okay. My polls show I'm doing well with Jews. I better go hang out with Farrakhan for a while.
I'll drop that number pretty quick.
Man, our melanin, that's what it is. It's just the color of our skin. You see, nothing is more important than the color of our skin, man. That's what Dr. King was getting at.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us from being mean to each other. Except for you're just as mean to each other as any other fucking group is mean to their group. Stop it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm starting a new fundraiser so I can buy some of these crazy books and amuse myself.
There you go, guys. Jack's new fundraiser, buy crazy books. Mine is Ranting Monkey has a fucking headache now. So give me money fund. Man, it's for God's sake.
Speaking of which, thank you, Frank, for the donation. Some of you, to be fair, is it just me, or does all of the Afrocentric beliefs scream of an inferiority complex? Why do you need to take credit for what every other race has accomplished to feel good about your race? Just have pride in yourself.
I have no white pride. I don't. Real quick, Johnny Hellcat, thank you. I've said it before, Chicago is not filled with the sounds of gunfire. It's the calming sounds of compassion, apparently.
Polly explained this. The story is the dark-skinned people force-marched the genetically mutated people to the Caucasus Mountains. They were mutated by Yakub, the big-headed scientist. Seriously. Now, I remember I had heard that. I think me and Polly watched a video about that one time. Or he pointed me to it. And yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I've seen the story before, but I have about as much understanding of it as I do of the Scientology one. Where, you know, if somebody mentions like, okay, that sounds a little, but yeah, I'm not studied on this, and I probably never will be because fuck these people.
Oh, come on, dude. This is some
I get you. Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, Nuts.
My nuts are awake. And Nuts is awake as well. I said "are" and that just made it all uncomfortable. Because I should have said my nuts is awake. And when I say my nuts are awake, it's an entirely different sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Nuts.
Well, I found a link here I'm going to throw into chat that you guys can watch after the show. It's by Lord Jamar. And he says, society forgets about black scientists. We created scientists.
But yeah, going back to that, the super chat or Streamlabs you got. And thank you guys so much for donating to us. You guys really are cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate it. We do, because this is harder work than it looks like. And I don't mean being able to talk nonstop. I can do that easily. But watching this kind of shit and not just going, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. I've never had white pride. I've never looked at something and go, that was made by a white person. I'm so proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's fucking dumb. Just
even if you go to like my Irish pride, it's mostly in stereotypes. I'm proud that the Irish are known to be able to hold their drink. You know, we might be jackasses and entirely drunk, but we're not going to pass out on you. We'll punch you instead, and then we'll buy you a beer. Because that's what we do. I don't have any real pride in anything with how I look that is so arbitrary like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just because a white guy designed and built something or was the first person to cut open somebody and save their appendix or whatever the fuck it was, I was not a part of that. I don't care. And with minorities in the country, we really have gotten to a point where it's getting silly. Because I saw one the other day, it was like the first black trans person to do something. I'm like, oh, okay. And I forget what it was, but it was really mundane. I did see that we have our first black female fighter pilot. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool for her. It doesn't do anything for black people. Doesn't mean black women are suddenly all going to be fighter pilots, you know. But as long as she went through the vigorous training and they're not sending this woman to their death or to her death like they did with the first female fighter pilots.
Well, now I've heard that black people invented fighter piloting.
I'm sure they did. Whose birthday? Guys, I'm so sorry. I am not paying much attention to the chat at all right now. I am turned so that I have my legs up, Jack. I went to get up to go, you know, before the show, and this leg was completely asleep, which me having a leg asleep is not a good thing. I can't stand up normally. And I banged into my desk and I just have my foot up. So I'm actually aimed where I can't really see the screen very well. So I'm not trying to ignore you guys. It's Check Your Logic and Stacey Gardner's birthday. Oh, okay. Check your logic. It's your birthday, and around here we do this. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Check Your Logic. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you had a good one. You know, I almost sang the wrong name there.
Yeah, I did too, but I wasn't going to admit it.
Well, I admit my mistakes.
I don't.
I didn't make the mistake, so, you know.
I make too many mistakes to sit around admitting them all the time.
Indeed. Stacy, your birthday, sir. Stacy, now, I know Check Your Logic has been with us for a while, but I know Stacy's been around a long fucking time. You got to be older than me now. I don't know how old Stacy is, but Stacy.
I don't think that's how aging works.
Yeah, it is. What did you two almost sing? I almost sang Stacy. I almost did his name instead because it's the second name I heard. And my brain stuck on it. I could have just, done the other one the next time, but I was doing them in the order that I saw them. Stacy, it's your birthday. Says I'm 32. Fucking youngins. Happy birthday to you, sir. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stacy Gardner. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you have a wonderful day. Somebody said, isn't Stacy a female name? Stacy Keach. Come on. Stacy it can be male or female. And the only Stacy I've ever known that was a female was a cunt. That's a true story. No, wait. No, that's Stacy. Okay, so I've known a real cunt and a real sweetheart. Does that even out?
I don't know. Most women that are named Stacy that I know are kind of hoary and bitchy.
Oh, yeah, they're all hoary. I mean, they're all hoary. But that's just women, right? I mean, on some level, aren't they all a little hoary? I mean, even the Amish women, there's one who shows a little more ankle than she's supposed to.
I don't think there are any Amish people named Stacy.
They got their neck is just a little lower than it should be on their choker collar thing.
Their ball gag's a little tighter.
I just say I'm just imagining an Amish whore, and not a whore, a slut. You know, she's just known as the Amish town slut because she drinks milk slowly in front of the guys and lets it drip down her cheek.
Here in Amish town, we've got Martha. She churns more than the butter, if you know what I'm saying.
She blinks a little more than she's supposed to, guys.
Yeah, the floozy. She shows her ankles.
Sometimes she even runs around in bare feet, Jack.
That floozy.
She likes to get her feet wet in the river. Drinking milk is racist. Not if you're in the... Are there black Amish people?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen a black Amish. Huh. Anybody know it?
I think there was one on Amish Mafia.
Y'all leave Gunther Red alone.
She's busy being a geometrist.
She's a geometrist, and she is not a whore. She is a sweet, sweet lady. Now, that Stacy bitch, she's the whore. Oh God, Jack, I gotta be surprised. Or I gotta be honest. I'm surprised Nick actually got canceled for this.
I can see why. That was pretty egregious.
But I get you, but it's nothing different than Farrakhan's been saying in public for decades.
Yeah, but nobody really covers that. This actually made the news. Like it got a lot of attention. Farrakhan doesn't actually get attention for what he says most of the time.
Real quick, guys, I've never met Stacey Dash. That's why I didn't count her among the Stacys I know. And in my mind, she's an absolute whore. She does naughty stuff that I can't even tell you about. No, but I understand what you're saying. But I mean, when Farrakhan went out there, what was he called? The Jews last? Termites. That made the rounds, but he didn't get much pushback for it at all. There was nothing in the press. There was no real. There were a few people who mentioned it, but it didn't get any traction. This blew the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Usually people look the other way when somebody says something that's anti-white.
Yeah. And if you listen to what he says there, I mean, in this clip specifically, I mean, he doesn't single out the Jews. It's just white people.
Yeah. Did you read him backpedaling on Twitter, trying to say, "Oh, I'm up for all kinds of dialogue, and if you could prove me wrong, just come on, prove me wrong."
I can prove you wrong very easily.
Yeah, because that's asinine, and there's no evidence for anything you said, dude. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't he go on Ellen's show a lot?
I think so.
Yeah, I wonder if she's going to have him up there and to talk about how bad the whites and the Jews are. Huh? Be interesting. I am surprised though, and I get what you're saying about it going viral so quickly and everything. But I'm really surprised that this isn't one of the times where we saw them go, look, we disagree with him, but he's allowed to have his own opinions, you know? Because it was about white people.
And Viacom's worked with him for a very long time.
Yeah.
So there's probably room for a really hilarious conspiracy theory, but it would get us in trouble. So I'm not going to mention anything about Ben Shapiro's people.
Yeah. Ben got in there.
Yeah. Look.
I wonder if it got so much more attention than I expected it to. And not necessarily on Twitter, because of course it was going to blow up on there. But like them actually giving a shit because of what happened with the writer over there at what's his name? Tucker. Yeah. Because you just had that blow up and they had to fire him for shit he was saying.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Frank. Deshaun Jackson's post was on the same line and he's still got a job.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen worse stuff said by people. We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
worse stuff said about white people.
Yeah, I think it's because it was considered anti-Semitic, because he does say some other stuff in that
Sure.
episode.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's kind of what got him in the real heat, because, that doesn't really go over well.
The Tucker dude resigned. He was allowed to resign. I do want to bring that up too, though. The Tucker dude was obviously trying to be edgy. Whether he believed it or not, I don't know. I don't know the guy. But did you notice he did it under a pseudonym?
Yeah.
They had to find out. I mean, he apparently was telling people he worked for a show, but he wasn't doing it under his full name. Nick Cannon had no problem. Didn't think twice about saying this out loud on something he knew was being recorded. Does that tell you anything about where we are?
Yeah, it tells me that this sort of thing is generally accepted.
Oh, fuck. Hey, guys, I really am sorry I'm not looking at the chat. This isn't one of those where monkeys, just yelling into the void. This is actually one of the days I could be paying attention to chat better. But, oh, my God. I fucked my leg up, Jack.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't. And the only way I have to get it up is my left leg. So I have to set it across. Shut up. I have to lay it across my computer, which has me turned towards that wall, and everything's over this way. I don't like to ignore the audience when I'm not trying to ignore the audience.
Well, if you hurt your leg, that's a reasonable reason.
It's not. I'm tired of stupid shit like this, me falling into things.
Well, stop falling into things. Get rid of all your furniture. So
I need bionic legs. How much do those cost?
No, sound.
Yeah. But I need to have a speaker to where I can turn it up and down.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
You don't want to be doing that, through like the cardiac ward or something.
Or during sex.
No, during sex, I want to be making that. I'll be faster than that. My lower back still works pretty good, I guess. You should see my face as I'm doing that.
Glad I can.
Oh, God. What the fuck are we even talking about now?
Nick Cannon being a racist.
It's amazing to me that so many people are so racist so publicly and so openly and feel okay doing so.
It's okay to be racist against white people now. And this just proves it. He's so comfortable openly saying this. He's probably said shit like this several times before, and there was never any pushback because nobody watched it and thought, hey, that's hilarious. Let's broadcast this. And it never got picked up as viral. So, yeah, I think he's probably thought this for a long time, and nobody just noticed it before, and it never really caught on. This really was angered a lot of people. And I've been seeing it all over the place today.
I hate using my mouse over here. I get that, and I really do hope that this is kind of a... I don't want people canceled for it. But if people are saying this stuff, I think they should be called out because it has gotten way too acceptable to be racist in this manner. And again, I think part of it is that he was talking about Jews, that pushed it quite a bit. But you shouldn't be able to talk about white people that way. They're naturally savages who rape and kill just to survive. That's fucking retarded and has nothing to do even with the last 100 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that's just it. It's become socially acceptable. I totally understand why Viacom fired him for this. He doesn't have a right to do it on their dime.
And I understand that. I do. I don't like people getting fired over stupid shit like that. Even the guy on Tucker saying, look, guys, I understand why they would fire him, and he should have known he was going to get fired if he was found out. I still don't agree with them firing for it over it. Did you see Tucker's taking a break, apparently?
Yeah, he's on vacation today.
I saw a a story about this. There's like 4 Fox News hosts that this has happened to, where they'll have some kind of controversy. They'll come on, they'll address it, and then immediately they go on a planned vacation.
Yeah, suddenly in the middle of like July.
Yeah.
Right.
Bill O'Reilly was one of them. He's the only one that never came back, though. All the others did come back from their vacations. He's the only one who didn't. Who else? I forget the others that they mentioned. But apparently that's what happens at Fox. If you say something I would say something really stupid just to get a vacation. Be like,
yeah, well, he's not even the one that said it. It was this other employee who got let go.
But it brings heat onto the channel.
Yeah.
It brings heat onto the network. So you have to take a break from that. And this gives them, I mean, if in a marketing sense, it actually makes sense to have them go on vacation.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, it immediately goes back into it and like, why aren't you addressing this more? See how racist he is? And then if he does say anything that can be in any way construed racist, like, see, it's just still going on. By the time he gets back, nobody's going to fucking even remember this. It'll be a week from now, and we'll be on to something else that, you know, is the news of the day.
Yeah.
Jim Acosta will be having a crybaby. Oh, my God. I saw the greatest picture today. Somebody took a picture of a mother feeding her baby.
Oh,
no. And they put Trump's head on the mom and Acosta's head on the baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fucking amazing. Sorry, that just popped into my head.
That's disturbing, but hilarious at the same time. Yeah. I can't unthink that now. No, this whole thing with this idiot, I saw him get a lot of shit, and he was trying to backpedal so bad on Twitter.
I'm listening.
And it's just one of those things where I get why he was fired. Yeah, he did get fired apparently, and I don't have a problem with them firing him. That's their brand they have to worry about. They have to worry about their image. And if somebody had said this about black people, they absolutely would have been fired.
Yeah, they'd have been fucking shipped out to sea with a note that said "good luck."
And what he said was blatantly racist, and people need to call that shit out. But he'll come back with some other podcast. It's not like it's hard for that, to set up a podcast. And he'll probably get even more followers because he'll just entrench himself more because you know who he's going to blame for this.
Of course. This is going to be all about how, the white people did this to me.
Them and the other people, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, they part and parcel.
Yeah, so I think he'll be fine. He's got plenty of money from all his years working on various Nickelodeon or whatever shows, and then being married to Mariah Carey. I
hate the notion of, oh my God, that's a great one too. I hadn't seen this. I'm gonna have to save this one. Check this shit out. Da, da, da.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who did that? That's amazing. Oh man, they got them all there too. All my favorites.
Yeah, although I think Cuomo's neck should be thicker.
It really should. It really should. I like how at least they matched up the colors too. This is actually a black kid.
It's probably an advertising. One of those kids is probably Chinese.
Probably. The Stelter one could be. Yeah, it's hard to tell by their chubby little thighs.
Yeah. Now, did you see the misgendering clip?
Oh my God! Yes. Do you have that?
Yeah, it's the last one in the private chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I watched that way more times than I should have, and I wanted to intersperse it with the guy getting hit in the head and dropping, just dub the audio on.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, because it made me smile more than it should have.
Okay, back this up. Now, what we're about to see, guys, for those of you who haven't seen it, hang on, is somebody being arrested at one of these peaceful protests.
Totes peaceful.
Totes peaceful. And this one, sorry, the volume is not the greatest. The camera person doesn't have their mic skills suck. They're likely recording on their phone, so it goes up and down at peaks and valleys. But we have to listen to it with the volume on because, well, you'll see.
Okay. No, I'm backing up.
I am a woman. Now, we'll pause here for a second. I am a woman. This person they're arresting is down there. I am a woman. We'll get to it in a minute. The important part.
And for the love of all that is holy, this would be even more hilarious if it was in landscape mode.
Yeah, no shit. But right at about 34 seconds, you know what? When we get there, I'll hang on. We're just going to watch a little more tussling.
I'm not here to like start and shit. I'm just observing. Okay?
Okay. We're just about to hear it. Listen to what this jackass says off to the side. I don't know if you paid attention to that, Jack. Listen to what this fuckhead says. Did you hear that?
Something about shooting them.
He says, I hope the Taliban shoots you one day, motherfuckers.
That's what I thought he said, but I couldn't make it all out. I didn't want to.
Peaceful, wonderful protesters.
Look, this guy is a magical human being, maybe a little less than ladylike, but a magical, protected human being whose rights are being trampled on by these evil, evil, evil federal agents.
I really do wish I could have seen what got him arrested.
I bet it was something fucking dumb.
We got half a minute to go. The surprise is coming, you guys. Watch out for the bus. I love that at the end. Stop misgendering me. Because did you hear what led to that?
No.
The cop says, let's get him over there. And that's what made him freak out. Stop misgendering. I'm a woman.
Okay, dude. That's what Massive said. Yeah, that's what I would have said. All right, dude, move along. Come on,
relax,
mister.
Dude. We're just taking you.
You know what? What probably made him mad was the words hurt him more than the actual violence of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because words are like paper cuts.
Jack, you and I have watched a lot of these things. We've seen a lot of protesters arrested.
Yes.
What happens if they don't fight and act like jackasses?
They just get arrested, booked, and then released.
Very simple. They have you put your hands behind your back. They walk you to a car, take you down, process you, send you away. When you act like that, yeah, they're going to fucking dogpile you because you're being a shitbag.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with you being a woman. Fucking douche. Fucking dude, man. Fucking
now
dude.
that idiot's probably going to get a psych eval because he was fighting with the cops. They're going to probably charge him with disorderly.
That motherfucker needs a psych eval. Hard.
Well, I mean, you're more worried about getting misgendered than getting arrested? Come on, man.
Roger says this is why we need asylums to return. You ain't kidding.
Yeah, no shit.
Sound like the cop said get him over there. It's hard to tell. He could have said get him or get them. Either way. But this was like, stop misgendering. Remember, even if they said them, that might not be their pronoun. Their pronoun may be she, so he should have said get her over there.
How would you know that in the middle of a brawl, though?
You know the fucked up part? These cops could get in trouble for misgendering this person, depending on where was this?
I think that was somewhere in California.
Oh yeah, they could get in trouble for misgendering. Have a good night, Mata. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, have a good one. Look, even if that was in like Portland or Washington, they'd still get in trouble. So it doesn't really matter. It's on the West Coast, I'm sure. And it's bullshit.
Their pronoun might be re, indeed.
Yeah, there's doubt.
Seem to be.
This is just more nonsense crap they're going to throw at the cops. And that's obviously why it was being filmed.
Yeah.
And it's sickening. Like, look, they got a job to do, and you're being a douchebag. So stop being a douchebag, and maybe they won't make fun of you.
Richard says maybe they could send him to a federal prison. No, they wouldn't do that. What they do with these people, even when the feds help arrest them, they end up going to the local jail. And yeah, they are on catch and release right now, pretty much everywhere for rioters, which is fucking stupid. And then they wonder why is this happening? Oh yeah, bread. Everybody needs that bread.
Yeah, he was just hungry for the bread.
I didn't even see if that fucking retard said anything stupid today. I wasn't on much, Jack. Had to walk away earlier because of stupid shit. I saw some stupid shit. We haven't gone over my stupid shit, have we? There's that one. Oh God, Jack, you want to see something weird?
Yeah, probably.
This is just a weird one. Do you know who Mike Cernovich is?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to turn the volume down because it doesn't matter on this one. I am not a fan of Mike Cernovich. I've seen him both be helpful and a shitbag.
Yeah.
So, This is also in portrait mode instead of landscape. I apologize. But the sign itself, this sign, I don't understand. I don't know if you can see what it says. It says, no white supremacy, no pedo bashing, no Mike Cernovich. No white supremacy. Okay. No Mike Cernovich. All right. No pedo bashing.
Now, I've heard this was a setup, but I haven't seen any real proof of that. So I don't know what's going on with this. But there was that protest in Ireland, I think it was.
Yes.
The anti-pedo protest. And yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So would this surprise me if this was real? No. Would surprise me if these people are just dummies that'll hold any sign you hand them.
If that's fake, it'll make me feel a lot better. Because we've seen way too much of, coddling of these fucking kitty diddlers.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep. How funny would it be if one officer starts trying to hand out slices of bread to these people that freak out? Only in New York. They got to do it in New York.
Something's going on over in Portland.
Oh, what's going on?
An ambulance is being escorted by a police car. It left the Justice Center.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a couple of cop cars floating around that area. Just as a heads up.
Well, since we've been on the bread thing, I do want to share this. Purple Pill made this. I think he said he was bored at work.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's a literal bread bandit, you guys. Says, like a good bread thief, leave no witnesses. Which is apparently what AOC thinks happens. I love that.
Bread banditry is a serious crime. It's one that's growing. And giant loaves of bread are now in short supply, much like toilet paper was a few months ago.
The other one, this is the one that made me walk away from my computer. You ready for some stupid shit?
Probably not, but sure.
I went down a rabbit hole with this one. Okay, it starts off with a tweet that reads, China will soon be the world's largest economy. It'll be the first nation to reach that status whose rise isn't built on colonialism, slavery, and genocide, but rather on hard work, good economics, and effective governance. This should earn China love, but it earns it hate in the West.
Did they forget the slave labor and organ harvesting?
Or the actual China taking over different areas as it was building. I mean, every part of that is fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's propaganda nonsense.
That's not the tweet I saw, though.
What?
Hang on. Here's the next tweet. China gets no credit for its hard work to build its economy because U.S. handed it all to them. A farmer works 12 hours a day and saved to build a house. No, U.S. gave that house to him. Hard work build China's roads. No, it was handed to them. Or it wasn't handed to them. I don't know what that one means. That one's very poorly written, so I can't tell what that asshole's trying to say.
English probably isn't their first language. That sounds like a Google Translate.
This is the third one, and this is the one I saw. This is the third in a straight line. Okay, I'm only reading them to you for straight line. So you understand what I came into and jumped into, because holy fuck. Laugh my ass off. The U.S. developed its economy on slavery, genocide, imperialism, and exploitation of the global South. China developed on cooperation and multilateralism.
Well, I think the Great Famine victims would disagree.
Hate facts. So then I start scrolling down. I go to that guy's Twitter because I'm like, oh God, oh dear fuck. I've told you guys before, if I see something on Twitter, whether I like it or hate it, I'm going to go to the person's page and read, you know. By the way, it's a good way not to get duped by so many of those people who the pose.
Yeah.
Because there was another one going around the other day that pissed off a whole bunch of people. Like, guys, it's a po. Relax. So I dig into this guy's one, and he says this. I want a viral Xinjiang debunk. People need to know. Xinjiang is the province with the, what are they called? Say it for the one starts with the U, the Muslims.
The Uyghurs?
The Uyghurs. I always say that word wrong because it's not even spelled closely like that.
Yeah.
So he gets into a talk with this person named Viola Han, and she shares a video. And this is to help people find out the truth of what's going on over there. I want to show you something that made me laugh so hard. Yeah, I had to get up and leave. This is the place he shared. CGTN is funded in whole or part by the Chinese government.
Wow.
I read that. I started laughing. I got up. I'm like, fuck it. I can't do this anymore. I had to get away from my computer. I'm like, that is among the dumbest things I've seen this year. The truth about what's going on over there is coming from the CCP. Are you fucking kidding me?
They're a totally honest source. So, of course.
There's a part in this video where the woman, because the video's in English. And there's a part in this video where she's reading letters that they've gotten. And and the letter writer wanted to know why nobody ever talks about the violence that the British caused by giving Hong Kong freedom. And I was like, oh my. The violence the British caused by giving Hong Kong freedom.
Yeah, they should just let them be slaves to China.
Faithless says that's like believing CNN. You know, I would feel better about somebody believing CNN than I ever would somebody believing Chinese state media.
Well, are they much different?
They're a little bit different, just a tiny bit. Not much, but a tiny bit. They still like their money. I feel like the people who work for Chinese state media, they're getting their bread ration and no more, regardless. This hurt my head.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
I can even understand some idiot going, Marxism gets a bad name and it's never been tried right. All right, that's stupid. But what you really need to do is push Chinese state media to get the truth of what's going on in the Xinjiang province.
Well, I mean, it's just, they have to go to these decolonized sources.
Yeah.
I don't know. This makes no sense to me. Why would you trust the Chinese government on anything? That's just reckless and dangerous.
Swear to fuck, I got up. I was like, no, I'm done, and got up. I couldn't take anymore. I don't care about that one. And this one, Jack, also made me just laugh my ass off. So Rush Limbaugh, he was talking yesterday, and he's talking about how the U.S. shouldn't just shut everything down over coronavirus. That's not what America does. We overcome. We don't hide, we overcome. And one of the things he talks about is the Donner Party, which, by the way, I don't think was necessarily the smartest thing to do.
No, not really.
But he brings up that in the Donner Party, let me go to their thing because they have the transcript. I'll read what he said. You've heard of the Donner Party. Maybe some of you haven't. The party, the Donner family and a bunch of travelers trying to get to California over the Sierra Nevada mountain range. They made the mistake of trying to make the trip in the middle of winter. We're talking the Lake Tahoe region. They get to the peak. It was so bad they had to turn to cannibalism to survive. That's what's noteworthy about the Donner Party. If you read the diaries written by the leader of the Donner Party, the only reference to how cold it was one sentence. It was a particularly tough winter. It was just that, or it's just what it was. They didn't complain about it because there was nothing they could do. They had to adapt. This is what's missing. Talking about with what's going on now. There seems to be no concept of adaptation. There seems to be no understanding in the millennial generation that we can adapt to this, and we're going to have to. So lots of people were making fun of him for bringing up the Donner Party, which, I mean, in the manner he brings it up, it makes sense. If all you hear is he's talking about the Donner Party, But that's not what's important to me here, Jack. It was a response to this. This woman wrote, conservatives have an easier time accepting the Donner Party eating people than me eating pussy.
Nobody cares if you're gay. Nobody. This is not 1984. The year, not the book. Nobody gives a shit if you're a lesbian. Because that had to have been written by a lesbian.
Yes, her name is Marie Connor.
Oh, so edgy, so stunning, and or brave.
Yeah, her handle is this tall awk girl, AWK for that awk. I'm guessing awkward.
Oh.
And she's a comedian with a cult.
What?
You're not funny.
Yeah. Oh, Merle pointed out one thing we can trust the Chinese on is that they do know how to harvest Muslim organs.
Yeah, they're pretty good at that. Don't trust on where they sold them.
No. Yeah. God, I don't know why this is such a hard concept, but gays have been around a really long time. Nobody has a problem with it right now.
No, it's to the point. It's so mundane. Nobody gives a fuck. The only time it becomes an issue is if you start trying to push some activism that's specifically homosexual.
Yeah,
and then you'll run into people who have problems. If you have a church that's never had a female pastor, you might still get a congregation that's like, no, we don't want the girl.
Yeah, but that's more like a religious thing than...
Yeah.
They don't hate you. They just think you're immoral and sinners.
Right. The idea that people give a fuck about who you're fucking as long as they're adults is asinine. Even if this was... When did gay marriage pass? What was that? 2000? Was it 16 or was it 14? I can't remember.
That was before Trump, so...
Right. So go back a year before gay marriage passed, maybe you have an argument. since gay marriage passed, I mean, it was almost like when gay marriage passed, everyone went, all right, fuck it, gays are cool. Who cares? That was the end of the gay fight. I'm like, all right, everybody, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is just really bad comedy, or somebody that thinks they're so edgy and cool and has never met any right wingers ever.
Well, it is bad comedy. I'll give you that, because I do think she was trying to make a joke. And I understand when somebody makes a joke, it can fall flat. But I also do think that it was part of this thing that I've seen now and then where people have to try to push and make it as though gay people are still so horribly oppressed. Like, they still hate us. Nobody cares.
But internet pee-pee touches. That's all. It's not because they actually think they're oppressed. If they do, they're fucking idiot. Go over to Saudi Arabia and try that shit.
Being told it was 2015. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just sickening. They're doing this for attention, to try and look like victims, because that's how you get things these days. It's annoying, and I'm tired of it.
It's also how you drum up hatred of people on the right, because look, see, they still hate gays. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Seriously. I remember when my sister came out to me, Jack. It was one of the funniest moments of my life. She said, I have to tell you something. I'm like, all right, what? She goes, no, this is big. I'm like, oh shit, everything okay? And she's like, I'm gay. And? She's like, no, that's it. I'm gay. I'm like, I don't care. I said, now you and I can talk about hot chicks together. That's the only thing that's changed.
Yeah, when I was working in mental health, we had a guy that was like flamboyant, almost cartoonishly gay. And he would not say it for the longest time. And finally, we had this big staff meeting where he's like, I'm really nervous, but I got something I got to tell you guys. And then he ran out of the room. So who did they send to go get him? Me. I happened to be near the and I'm like, that was a smart choice. And I calmed him down, and then later on, he pulls me aside. He's like, I just want to let you know that, I'm gay. I was like, yeah, dude, everybody knows. What do you mean? Everybody knows.
We just assumed you were sucking dick, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, hang on one sec. Chad is telling me they're having some problems with the stream. It's not on this end. Refresh. I've been told that's helping. So sorry, guys. Not much. It's not from this end. It's something on YouTube. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
Yeah, he would prance. Like, this dude didn't walk. He pranced. He was a stereotype, and he was a really cool guy, but I'm not into dudes. But nice guy. Nobody cared. And that was 2002. Nobody gave a shit. We were all in the mines together. Children biting us and throwing things at us. Nobody had time to care about that crap. But nowadays, you have no reason to be like, oh, it's so edgy and cool. No, fuck you. Nobody gives a shit. Move on with your fucking life.
I do think it's funny and kind of sad that gay people today, that was taken from them, because there used to be a moment,
Yeah.
Like, I have to suck up all my courage and just admit this.
Well, I think that a lot of people miss that.
Yeah. A lot of them,
like parties where people come out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who idealize that horror. I mean, that wasn't a good thing. People were like, you want to talk about canceled?
Yeah,
your whole life could be ruined because somebody found out you were gay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I knew people that got disowned for that.
And
I was like, dude, that was back in the 90s. Nowadays, even then, it was becoming more accepted in like the mid to late 90s because of shows like Will and Grace.
Sure.
It might be a point of shame for the older generation, but Assassin, they want the Stonewall riots back. It's just not what it used to be, and people need to fucking suck it up.
Well,
stop trying to find something to be upset about.
They're missing that it's a good thing. It's so mundane.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Now the gays are as boring as everyone else.
Yes.
move on with your fucking life.
Nobody gives a shit. You suck a dick. I don't care.
I just don't want to know about it because I don't want to know about anybody's PDAs.
Right. I don't want anybody making out in public. I don't want to see that male. Okay, if it's hot lesbians, I will look. But otherwise,
it's never
and that's it's a rare find to find the hot lesbians.
Yeah.
And that's like a unicorn. You have to look.
Yeah.
Anyone else, I don't care how attractive the couple is. He's a good-looking guy. She's a beautiful woman. No. Do that shit at home behind a closed door. I don't have to see. Fuck, do it in your car. I don't care. Just not out on the street or in a fucking restaurant. Ugh. Nasties. Keep your tongue to yourself while you're in public. How about that?
Yeah.
Giovanni says, I don't know. I thought they were pretty boring before too. I get you. Look, it's always should have just been, okay, who cares? But
most people are boring.
Yeah, that's true as well. But there was a time when it was a big deal. There was a time when somebody coming out, I mean, lives were ruined by Out magazine.
Yeah.
Because they would out people who were gay and they'd lose their careers and have to go live in Montana or something where nobody knows they're gay. And I'll just go work with horses. Nobody will think I'm gay.
And then they made Brokeback Mountain.
It's mundane because of network television. In network television, novels, movies, gays have just become accepted. But they still have to throw in that token every, got to have the gay character or the whole gay show.
Yeah.
It's like, where does the next generation come from? You'll never have like a second generation of Will and Grace because they're all gay. They can't have babies.
It's artificial insemination.
Fair enough. It's all about attention and praise. You're kind of right. It is. It's not just the attention. It's that brave moment. The people back then coming out was brave. People coming out now is like, shut up. Nobody wants to hear about your sex life.
Yeah, gross. Don't be weird.
Get a show like Monkey has if you want to tell people about your sex life. I don't even tell you about my sex life. I make jokes about sex. I don't tell you about my sex life because that's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah. Oh. You can believe that if like Lady Monkey's been on a stream before, or I'm on a stream and she's with me, if I tell you anything we've done, I just used air quotes for a reason. Anything we've done, it's not something we've done. That's just me trying to make her embarrassed. Because a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell. You kiss and tell about the last girl you were with. Because fuck that bitch, right? Who cares about her? Will and Grace, The Next Generation, starring Patrick Stewart. Stop it. A press group is overrepresented now. They really are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They always talk about representation, but they never actually talk about the numbers. Never talk about the numbers. Because then you have to actually take black people away from some jobs and gay people away from jobs, especially in acting.
Yeah.
Do the math, motherfuckers. Black Panther would have looked a whole lot different if it was actually representative of the population.
Well, that was an ethno state, so.
We need representation in film, Jack. It's just we don't need honest representation in film, I guess.
They just mean less white people.
It does. And that Satsu was the first person I ever heard bring this up. I'm not saying he's the first person. He's the first person I heard. That when they talk about diversity, it never means having more white people in a black film. It never means more white people in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It never means that. It means more black people in white films, more Asians in white films, more gay people in white films. Whatever the fuck a white film is. This was made for honkies specifically.
No, it was made for everyone.
You know what I miss about the 80s, Jack?
Good movies?
A whole lot of stuff, actually. But I never heard of movies for black people or movies for white people. When I was growing up, all of my friends, and I've never lived in a monocolored area until I moved up here. And it's just because Asians, blacks, and Hispanics are smart enough not to live here. Everywhere I've lived is very multicultural. We all watch the same fucking movies. We all watch or listen to the same music. We just, it was for all of us.
Yeah.
And now everybody's got separate shit. Well, look at Hamilton. I've watched that twice already. I fucking love that musical. And it was very well done. But
it's too long.
What's that?
It's about 12 hours too long.
Shut up. It was great. That could have been done with white people or some in there.
Yeah, but then I won't be able to make a black on black violence joke.
I see what you're doing. Yeah, a couple of black folks get killed in that thing. And a Puerto Rican. Isn't he Puerto Rican?
I don't remember. I fell asleep watching it.
Shut up. That doesn't make him not Puerto Rican. What is fuck, I forget his name too. You know the rules here. Sorry, Steve. What ethnicity is Steve? The main character in Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Not the character, the main actor in Hamilton. You son of a bitch. No, it was a great play. And I have no problem with, changing out characters and stuff like that, especially in the way they did it. That was awesome. That got a whole bunch of people caring about history, Jack.
Yeah, but now the conspiracy theory is going to start that actually all the founders were black. And it's just lies perpetuated by the white man. Because
how cool would it have been if George Washington was black?
I don't think I would care either way.
I would, because I would imagine him out there listening to some Public Enemy getting ramped up, ready to cross that Delaware. Being like, oh yeah, let's go. Fuck these white people. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah, that's his name. And somebody told me he is Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican?
Yeah, it's going to kick off the new Hidden Colors. You're right, Jordan. No, I think that conspiracy will start, and they'll say they were trying to frame them by making them slavers, and it was really just the mountain dwellers decided to steal the history from them. It's so boring. I can't even be enthusiastic about this idea because it is funny.
How dare you?
Man, I kind of wish I was black. See if Satsu wants to work with me on this. He could host my new fake documentary.
He can be your Richard Pryor to your Mel Brooks.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys will make a wonderful thing. Somebody told me they're remaking that. That better not be true.
That's a terrible idea.
It's a really bad idea. Half the jokes you couldn't even do.
Yes, Massive. We'll call it We Was Founders.
We Was Founders. Stop it.
It'll have a Z at the end of Founders, too, because that's cool.
No, I did enjoy that. But when you're talking about representation, it's never about honest representation. Because I've been an NFL fan my whole life, Jack. And it was probably the late 80s, early 90s that they started saying, we need a black head coach, damn it. Like, do you? Do you need one? You're literally saying you need a token.
Oh, that's exactly what they're saying, yeah. So
they hire a black head coach. It's like, we need representation. There's only one. We need a whole bunch more. Like, are you saying 13%? I'm betting not, right? And they're like, well, it doesn't look like the American public. Like, have you seen that football field? Have you seen it? At best, you'll find a team that's half white, half black. The majority of them are majority black.
Look,
that's just fact.
These are hate facts because the coaches are what's not representative.
Right.
The fact that the players are just makes it more like a plantation.
Right. Real quick, Evolve Potato, thank you. How many of the people that were excited about it were just excited about the race swap part and not the actual history? Because that's a lot of the praise I've seen. That might be the praise you've seen, but if you ask them about Hamilton's life, I bet you they'll be able to answer. I bet you they went and looked up shit on Hamilton and Aaron Burr and George Washington, and I can prove it. Just go to Google or YouTube and look up these men and see how many videos are out there with a shit ton of views that have been done in just the last couple of years. They may have been excited about the race swap, but a lot of them went and started digging into history more, and I hope they learned something. No, but with the NFL, I do not want them to have honest representation down on the field. I don't want them to go, sorry, black guy, we're at 13%. I know you're better than all these white guys over here, but we got to have representation. Because that's fucking retarded and racist. But yeah, and it was the same thing that you see, like with we need women in the executive areas. Yeah, how many do you need on the custodial staff? Is that even? How many minors do you need? How many female garbage men do you want? Oh, none? Oh, why is it always just for that cushy job?
Well, I know that I want an Inuit CEO who determines his decisions based on clubbing seals to death.
Fair enough.
Their splatter patterns, because that would actually fit with what they're saying.
It's asinine. There's that law in California, and what is it, by 20? I think it's 2024. Half of all board of directors in California have to be female. Have to be.
Yeah, I don't see how that's legal.
That's not legal at all.
That just means there's going to be a lot of companies leaving California.
If you have men who are better suited for the job, that's who should get it. And this law, Jack, has to be at least half women. It does not have to be at least half men. You can have an entire CEO board, your board of directors and CEO be women. You cannot do that with men. It is an entirely illegal law.
Yeah. What if they are men that identify as women?
That would be what I do.
Yeah, I'd just be like, yeah, Phil here, he's a chick today. Oh, real quick, thank you, Sheagrath. Monkey's just upset that his Chargers are lacking Super Bowl representation.
Look, we've been to the Super Bowl. We just got spanked.
Getting tickets does not count.
No, we went once.
Back
in '94, lost to the 49ers in spectacular fashion.
Was that one of them, what do they call those, Special Olympic events?
Dude, if you only watch the last 3 quarters of the game, it's a great game, and it's a close game. The problem is the 49ers scored 21 points in the first 10 minutes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so the rest of the game didn't matter.
Thank you, Jordan 250. Have you considered doing a Watch My Laundry Hidden Colors, where you watch the fights with a few rainbow socks? I am thinking about it now.
Evolved Potato, thank you. I think you're being too much of an optimist. Have you been taking your black pills? I pepper my black pills with optimism. I still believe I'm still a cynic. And as Scribe points out, you have to have hope to be a cynic.
Yeah, my hope is fading quickly.
I still have hope.
We're fucked. Just admit it.
Yeah. No. I think there's a lot of bad out there. I think it can be defeated still. I think these assholes can be stopped. I think it takes a courage not too many people have, though.
Yeah.
And right now it is really scary with the whole bank thing.
Yeah.
Because that's, man. Caramon, why are you bringing that all up, man?
Well, looks like they're moving some more supplies into into their clap.
Jesus Christ. 49ers scored 49 points. Jerry Rice had 149 receptions, and Steve Young had 49 rushing yards. How funny is that? I almost kicked the shit out of somebody because of that game. My daughter was very young at the time, and one of my brother's friends had her say, go 49ers, before the game even started. Like, I will kick the fuck out of you right now. That's how seriously I take it. I still blame that guy for them losing. He put a hex on the game.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Ah.
If you believe it happened, that's what happened. That's how sports works, man.
I'm not familiar with the rituals that hex sporting events. I know there are people, some really weird ones, like they have to wear a certain shirt and stuff like that.
There was a guy in because the Chiefs, man, they won the Super Bowl the hard way, going all the way to the first playoff game. The what was it? The first half of the game, the Chiefs got the shit kicked out of them. So he left. He didn't leave because they were losing. He left because maybe him leaving would help them win. Huh. It's a true story. It's a true story. And yeah, they turned around and won. If you believe it's true, that's what happened. That's how. Look, man, it's sports is very superstitious. It really is. Apparently, they're like theater kids. Oh yeah, yeah. And you'll notice there was a year the Chargers were doing really good, and if I watched, they lost, so I stopped watching them that year. True story. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Now, do people ever get the two confused, like theater and sports? And somebody in the crowd is like, "Whoa!" at the scene in our town where something happens, and then they go home and try and jinx the other team by yelling Macbeth. I don't think that's what. Well, maybe it could happen. I'm telling you, I'm very, very superstitious. There have been times that I've worn the same shirt on game day every year because of how the Chargers did that day. And if I forgot, it didn't work. And then it stopped working. I don't think those are related. If All Potato says, so you were delusional. How do you prove it didn't happen? Prove it wasn't happening. Prove that's not what did it. Good luck. Well, it's because there wasn't enough sun shining on the mountains. They lost their strength. Yeah. I'm not ashamed of my superstition when it comes to my sports teams. It's okay. No, that's fine. I mean, whatever helps you with that loss, No, nothing helps with a loss, man. Nothing helps with the loss, especially if like if you didn't have your jersey on that day and they lost, and you're like, that's my fault. Yeah. God damn it. Yeah, I lived with a Cleveland Browns fan. They're very familiar with loss. Oh, man. Oh. Don't say break a leg to a football player. You can say it to a football player. You're not allowed to say that to somebody in the theater. No, you're supposed to say break a leg because. Oh yeah, sorry, backwards. Yeah, yeah. Don't say good luck to somebody in the theater. Yeah, and you never say Macbeth in the theater. No, that is horrible luck. You will jinx the whole thing. Yeah, they got to do like little chants and dances and shit. The best place I've ever seen to make fun of that was Blackadder. That was a fucking hilarious because theater people are that weird. Look, man, superstitions are real. Look, people love their rituals and superstitions. It gives them comfort. That's fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah, Caramon said Browns fans are insufferable. They're not as bad as Ohio State fans. Those are dickheads. Yeah, they're the worst fans I've ever seen because I lived down by the university there, and I had to see them all the fucking time. Although once the game started, traffic was amazing because the whole city fucking shuts down. The worst fans in the world are Raider fans. Yeah, those are horrible fucking people. But Ohio State's not. Look, Ohio State and Michigan, longtime rivalry. Yeah, Ohio State fans are kind of shitbags. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. She said, wife's family are all Browns fans, and my family are Viking fans. We're alcoholics come November. The superstition that really I hang on to from going back to my theater days. I was in drama, guys. We got to do plays and stuff, there were 2 plays a year that were main plays, and then they had the one act plays. Plus, if you were in class, you had to do them. But the 2 plays were always directed by one of the 4th year students, and very few people made it all the way to 4th year in drama because we started in that school in 10th grade, so you would have had to have taken it in another school. But that was an honor to be the one picked to do that, and the director gets to pick his AD, his assistant director, who manages everything backstage. And I skipped school for like 3 weeks straight. And I come back, and the director is really pissed at me. He's like, "You should have been here." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I was going to pick you." I'm like, "Oh, shit." Because that would have been awesome. I would have loved to have been the it was actually the TD, the technical director, the guy behind the scenes. Yeah. One of my missed opportunities in life, Jack. I was very well liked in theater.
Yeah, that sucks because that'd have been cool for you, but
yeah,
these things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I skipped school for like 3 weeks. What you gonna do,
right?
I skipped school a lot that year, Jack.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's all pretty optional.
It should be. No, but the one, if you're going to go see a play, especially like the high school levels, the community theater and all that kind of stuff, see it on the first night.
That's when they still care.
It's when they're so nervous, they do everything right. Night 2, if you want to see the funny one, go see night 2. Because they've got that ego boost from the first night. We did it all great. And they fuck up everything. Night 2 is the best night to see a play. Maybe not skip school. You know, hindsight's 2020, man.
That's one of those grown-up ideas.
Look, the only reason to have gone to school would be to go to college. I haven't used much of anything I learned in school, Jack. Most of my learning has been self-taught, past there. Never been to college, don't give 2 shits about it, other than what it's doing to kids these days. I feel like I turned out all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed college because it gave me access to a lot of stuff, a lot of information, interesting people. But my degree is a fucking useless piece of shit. I really wish I had gone to trade school. And that's on me for making that choice. But
I've met a lot of interesting people and learned a lot. You know, if the internet hadn't come along, maybe I would be sitting here going, damn, I wish I'd gone to college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the internet makes it a lot easier to learn things. And I'm not the kind of person that's self-motivated enough to have gone to the library every day to make sure I learn new shit.
I used to take naps at the University Library every day. It was great. They had this sofa that was just amazingly comfortable. And it was hidden away up on the 2nd floor. You had to kind of get to it. And it was right outside of some lady's office, and I would sleep there every day. So I would hang out at the library all the time. It was fucking amazing. That's really what I learned in college, was where to take good naps.
Yeah, again, I don't hate college. Like my son and my youngest son and oldest daughter have both gone to college. But it wasn't something for me.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
I love learning. I really do. I just hate instruction. I fucking hate being instructed. Write me this paper. Go fuck yourself. You write it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I hate being told what I need to go learn.
Well, there's a lot of busy work involved too. Like just to look like they're doing something, and it's not productive. And a lot of people don't learn the way they want you to learn.
Yep.
Writing a paper isn't always the best way to learn something or to do research on something. So it really depends on what you're trying to do too.
That is a horrible way for me to learn. I don't learn well that way. Richard R says, Monk, I'm still young, so I'm thinking of going into trade school after community college. Not a bad way to go.
Yeah, find something that you're going to enjoy doing, that you could see yourself doing for 20 or 30 years, and do that.
Yep.
Follow your passion. If you're really good at working on stuff, working with your hands, and you like doing that, absolutely go do that. because first of all, you're going to make way more money most likely than the rest of us that are baristas and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's definitely going to help you to get some kind of education these days because a lot of places require it. And if you don't think you can do it, you're just lying to yourself. You can do it.
Mm-hmm. I know I've really had to work to be able to learn from reading. I learned very well from hearing. The instruction time was always where I soaked in all my information. So in high school, like, take notes. I'm like, no, I got it. It's in my brain now. You said it. I used to have that memory, Jack. It's so sad that it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I never had that memory, so I don't know what it's like.
Well, me and Lady Monkey would get into an argument, and she'd go, "You said this." I'm like, "No," and then I'd repeat the conversation to her. It's like, "Stop it!" Like, what? I remember what was said exactly. I'm in my mid-30s, and trade school is clearly the correct choice. Remember, I mean, even just because you're older doesn't mean you can't go back to school and go to trade school. My brother, he went to college and then went to college again and then went to trade school. And now he's applying that trade. He hasn't used the shit he learned in college at all.
Well,
he went to college for journalism.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people get to college and it's not what they thought it was going to be and they leave. That's fine.
Oh. No, he finished.
Oh.
Yeah. He went to college and finished. Went to college again. I don't think he finished that time. I think he only went a year and a half. And then, he went to trade school instead.
It's people like Polly that actually I have a lot of respect for because going through and doing like your PhD and stuff in this environment, that takes a lot of balls. Because if you're even remotely outspoken, they're going to try and destroy you.
I want to go to college because of how outspoken I am. I want to go to college and sit in there and argue with the teacher all day as they tell these young kids stupid shit. I want to go to business school, actually. I want to go to college for go get an MBA that I'll never use, but mostly to argue with business people and lefties because I think it would be fun. I need to be rich first, though, Jack, because that's,
Yeah, to hire private security so you survive that first.
Well, there's that, too. Farmers are the jacks of all trades. Look, man, most farmers are really good mechanics, man.
Yeah, you kind of have to be able to fix shit on the fly. I think a lot of people that work the trades just do not get respect enough for what they do.
What's that?
You have to really be pretty versatile to be like an electrician or a farmer.
Oh, God, yeah.
You don't have to be the smartest person, but you definitely can't be a complete fucking moron.
Viking says, I'm a master machinist. Trade school pays. Damn.
Oh, that's cool.
You're making bank. It's a good time to remind you guys, we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, please share. And if you can, donate to Jack and I if you're enjoying what you see. I'm a steel worker. I'll retire in 10 years. Oh, man. I could never do that.
I couldn't either. Volve Potato said he tried trade school and he's not somebody that can work with their hands. I'm like that too. My brother got all the technical skills in the family, and I got the how to cut your thumb off skills.
Yeah, I'm good with my hands, but I like them, and I've seen too many people lose them.
Yeah, I once dropped a reciprocating saw that didn't have the safety feature on it. And I've never seen anyone try and unplug a piece of equipment so fast as the other 5 guys that were in the room with me.
Now, one of the guys I used to work with lost the front half of his middle and index finger in one of the machines we used to work on. He did it before I got there. I used to call him the Anti-Claus because he looked like Santa Claus, but he was a dick.
Ah.
Yeah, he was, oh God, he was a shithead. But it was funny. By the end of my working there, I worked there 6 years in the machine shop. He went from being just this absolute dick to me to being the nicest guy I'd ever met. I'm like, did you get cancer or something? Are you trying to atone?
Right.
But yeah, he became a really nice. Yeah, but he hadn't shut the machine down like you're supposed to before you work on it, and he just reached in to make a little adjustment, and it just snatched up his fingers, snatched him right off.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they were destroyed. They were destroyed. There was no reattaching those things. I went to trade school, but I didn't have sense enough to choose the right trade. Depends on what you went for. Like up here where I live, there is no wrong trade. I don't know. Did you make horse buggies, whips, or something like that?
It's in the candle industry.
But the main ones you hear about, welding, refrigeration, shit, I know there's more. All of those are in desperate need up here, to where they're commanding ridiculous prices.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I was good with my hands, because I can't put a nail in without fucking it up somehow. So the people that could do that sort of thing, if you're good at carpentry, electrician, or plumbing, or whatever,
plumbing, that's the other one
to be made.
Brad says, I'm in the process of putting together my own small machine shop. The guy I worked for, who, by the way, was great. His 3 sons who took over the business were shitbags, but he was amazing. He started a machine shop in his backyard. Well, not literally in his backyard. There was a roof over us and everything. But yeah, he had a small shop with 4 machines to start, and then he was able to build an addition to it where he added another 10. And when I was working there, at that time, he'd had it for 15 years. He was able to build a $2 million building to put that up, to put that shit in.
Damn.
With an amazing air system in it to keep all the fucking oil from our lungs that we've been breathing for the past 4 years at that point.
Ew.
Yeah. Oh, God. The only thing great about it is it reminded me of the ships. My dad, anytime you'd go to the ship, there's this smell on a Navy ship. And it's the same smell. I realized, that smells oil. But I didn't realize oil had a smell, because you don't really smell it. Not like you do when you walk into a machine shop. It's just like, oh, damn. But it was cool because it reminded me of my youth.
Yeah, and lung cancer.
Well, there's that too.
As he lights a cigarette.
That was the asbestos.
Oh, fair.
It wasn't the oil. My one uncle had worked in a machine shop. One works in one now. My mom said my one uncle, because the shop was so hot in the summer, used to pull up in the driveway and jump in the pool. I believe that. She should have kicked his ass, though, for getting all the oil in the pool. Because I would just come home nasty. Oh, God.
See, that's just simulating an oil rig refinery accident.
Yeah, we when we worked in the shop in his backyard, there was one day we had to shut down because there's an OSHA limit to how hot the area, the business can be.
Really?
And we passed it one time. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. We had to shut down for like 6 hours. The smell on a Navy ship is steam oil. Yeah, there you go. See, I told you, oil. You happen to work in a South Ohio machine shop, did you? I've worked in a few. No. It was up here in Michigan. It was just a small one. There is a big one around here too. It's actually a little bit south of us. It's a union shop, and people would leave that one to come work at this one that I was in because we weren't union and we got paid a lot better than they did. They had to work. What was their thing? 6 on, 2 off. Ours, we worked 4 10-hour days. And then if we worked more than that, it was all overtime. That their union contract got them 6 on, 2 off. Like, that's fucked up. And they made less than us, and they had to give union dues. Now you see why everybody wanted to come work at our shop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, sorry, guys. We're talking about old stuff. I'm Browns and Ohio State fan. I'm the type that fan of my state teams. You're a Browns and an Ohio State fan? Well, at least Ohio State wins once in a while.
They win a lot, but they're still angry when they win.
Yeah, they do a decent job. I can't compliment them too much because I'm a Michigan fan, but they win occasionally. Aaron says I'm a few minutes behind. It's all right. It's all right. Look, the chat is behind us anyway, so
yeah, we're 10 seconds in your future.
As long as you let me know what you're referencing, I'm happy to answer anything in chat, you know. I'm an open book, Jack. And Susan wants to see my wiener.
I hear that. You should just send her pics of wieners until you're like, hey, pick one out of the lineup. It might be mine.
I'm telling you, Susan, for the right price, 7 figures, you can see my wiener. Stig says I'm a losing teams fan. Look, man, I am a lifelong Cubs and Charger fan. The Cubs finally won the pennant a few years ago, so I don't have to be ashamed of that one anymore. But I'm still a Charger fan. So, are you going to the game today, Monkey? The game? Oh, am I going to game today? Oh, duh, got to read that right. We're talking football, so I'm like, there's a game? Probably. We'll see. I love that shit. I cannot get enough of 7 Days to Die right now. It is so much fun. You're a Bengals fan? Dude. You guys suck. However, they did beat the Chargers in the after we kicked the shit out of Miami. We didn't kick the shit. We barely won. In one of the best games ever played back, what was that, 82? When the Chargers and Miami go into double overtime for the playoffs. The Chargers barely win. They got to help Kellen Winslow off the field. Because I don't understand that, Jack. I understand they play hard, you know, but it's still just football. Stop being a pussy.
I don't know anything about football, dude. Sorry. Double overtime, I assume, is something like second breakfast.
My dad served aboard the USS Intrepid. As a boy, he showed me everything he knew on the fighting one. My dad served on the Guad and in my lifetime. I know he'd served on the Decatur before I was born. That was a destroyer. He served on an aircraft carrier for a very short time. I don't remember what it was. And then he served on the Guadalcanal, where he was for quite a few years, and then over on the on the Tripoli first, and then the Guadalcanal, where he was for a lot of years. Yeah, I miss those ships. It was fun to go on those. Plus, I was a Chiefs kid, so I got spoiled. It was nice. The dad would have to go do something. He'd ask one of the guys to watch me. And they're like, you want to go get some ice cream? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go get some ice cream. And then you'd sit there eating ice cream while they told you stories from the Philippines, which you really shouldn't have heard.
No, you wanted to hear them, though.
I did. But I was way too young to be hearing those stories.
Yeah, that makes you a man.
So you get hair on your chest.
Yeah, it helps the balls to drop.
Yeah, the stories that come out of look, if you're in the Navy and you get to watch the Chiefs kid, don't tell him those stories. Let him find out on the internet like he should. No, but it was great. They were always super, super nice because it was a Chiefs kid. They're not going to be mean to you. And Dad used to do before there was Take Your Child to Work Day, Dad used to do that for us. One day a year, we were allowed to skip school to go hang out with Dad. And it wasn't all three of us. He took each one of us separately. So it was our day. It was cool.
That's sweet.
I asked Millennial once if he would ever consider a skilled trades. He told me, why? I should be able to make the same amount of money doing my fast food shit. Jesus cocksucking Christ. Yeah, these idiots, they don't get it. They don't understand skill. They're communists. They're fucking little commies.
Yeah, they don't want to work, but they want high wages and leadership positions. It's disgusting, and I don't like them. And they all look smelly now.
You know the worst people that I used to work with at Walmart? They'd be somebody in their 30s who spent a lot of time in college and couldn't get a job. I live in a small fucking town. You're not going to get a really good accounting job here unless you start your own firm and take business from other people.
Yeah.
But they'd have some fancy schmancy business degree. Like, I should be doing more than stocking shelves.
Yeah, well, then you're going to have to move and not be lazy. I think a lot of it is just laziness.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that degree, and it should be able to make you money.
Yeah.
Not here. There's not that. The one town that I lived in was among the bottom, or that I worked in, sorry, not lived in, was among the bottom 5 poorest counties in Michigan. And these guys are getting business degrees, coming out and thinking they're going to make 6 figures somewhere there. Like, dude, nobody makes 6 figures here. You got to move to Grand Rapids or down to Lansing or over to Detroit, somewhere where there's money, you stupid shit. But God, they were so fucking annoying. So I'm so above this. Like, make sure you tell your next employer how above things you are.
Yeah. Oh, real fast. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Do Americans play any contact sports that don't use girly safety pads? Not really, no. There are some rugby teams, but even they're kind of foo-foo these days.
No, we don't. But try out our football sometime. See how that is.
I would really like, and I've been trying to encourage this, that curling becomes a contact sport because they already have brooms. They might as well attack each other randomly. But that hasn't really caught on yet because the Canadians, they're not really into cool stuff.
Who's a better team, Red Sox or Yankees? Right now, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to their rosters. If you're going to say over their lifetime, Yankees.
I don't follow hockey. Sorry.
Shut up. Rugby doesn't use padding. At least they don't in Britain. Put on our pads and try it. Try what we do. There was actually there's like a documentary or something where rugby players actually did that. They threw on the American pads and went out and played the American game. And they're like, that's fucking rough. I mean, that's not taking anything away from those guys. But American football still does. I mean, take some fucking power, man. The Sox, because they don't need to cheat. Shit. Who was it that just got busted cheating in that all the way up to the World Series? That was what, 2 years ago now? Or was it last year? I forget who it was. But yeah, there was another baseball scandal involving the World Series. We haven't seen that since 1906. No, that was the Cubs win. Was it? When was the White Sox when they tanked it? Shoeless Joe.
I have no clue.
Field of Dreams.
Talking about.
You didn't watch Field of Dreams?
No. Well, I think I saw it, but I didn't watch it, if you know what I mean. It was on in the background somewhere.
It's not a good movie. Oh, it was the Astros last year. Oh, Houston. Man, I fucking hate Houston anyway. They used to have that little shit bag. He would go out there. What the fuck was his name? I can't remember him. But Jack, he would go out there looking like he was in Knight's gear, man. He had pads all up and down his arms and his side and his head because this little shithead used to step into pitches. He's like the most hit person in baseball history.
Wow.
He's beamed more than anyone else because, and he used to do that shit. And they were playing the Cubs one day, and he did it twice. And I'm like, oh, fuck that guy. And that made me hate the Astros. Gamer Vleen, thank you. That's called the B team for rugby needing pads. Again, try it. Try the difference, man. But we used to play Smear the Queers, kids, which, by the way, is our version of rugby, basically. But you're not allowed to play that anymore. And you're not allowed to call it that. I don't know what you call it anymore.
Smear Whitey? I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about with Smear the Queers, right?
Oh, yeah. It was just everybody beat up that dude.
Whoever got the ball, you just kick the shit out. You tackle his ass. Craig Biggio. Yes, that motherfucker. I think that is the one I'm talking to. The name looks. I'd have to see him. I got to see.
He sounds like a guy named Craig. He's probably up to something.
He looked like he would be in fucking armor, man. Oh, yes, that's that little shitbag. Do they have one of them when he's in all of his armor?
To be fair, getting hit by a baseball would really hurt.
Swing a fucking bat like you're supposed to, you pussy.
That's violence. He might have been a pacifist.
I can't find one where he's all armored up. They got one with his arm armor on. Where's that one at? Oh, this has half of his armor. See if you can see part of it here. He used to have more. See this shit right here on his arm there? And he also has a huge pad right here on his shin.
Oh, okay.
Because the little fucker would step into pitches. Little douchebag. Second all-time hit by a pitch. Really? There's somebody else? He was a fucking douchebag. I hated that man. I fucking hated him. He used to play back in the days when I got to watch the Cubbies a lot.
Dangerous said he's a pacifist who encourages violence against himself. Yeah, he's a self-loathing pacifist.
Claudette is telling me to screw myself. It's all right. It's all right for me to hate him. Are you an Astros fan? Fucking hate the Astros.
Astros, that's Texas, right?
Houston, yes.
Yeah, okay. I knew something sports related.
That's all right. Look, we got to talk sports sometimes too. We have a very varied audience, so we got to talk about all kinds of stuff. Claudette says yes.
Audience different ways.
Look, I'm sorry you're a Houston Astros fan.
They had a cool logo for a long time.
We all have our downsides. I'm a Chargers fan, so.
Well, yeah. I don't know anything about sports. I just know their logos, and I think some of them look cool, and most of them look dumb.
I hate some teams based on the colors that they wear. It's true. I hate the Green Bay Packers because their uniforms are ugly as fuck. That green and yellow they wear, it's ugly as fuck. Stop it. Pick something else. And I have a loathing for them because they can't dress themselves.
Who was it? The A's? They literally just have a letter A?
Yeah, the Oakland A's.
Yeah, that's just lazy.
Well, they're the A's.
Yeah, but I mean, pick the laziest name and the laziest logo. I mean, it's not even a picture of the Fonz going, "Hey."
The laziest ever is the Browns. They don't even have a fucking logo. Not that they don't put one on their helmet. It's just an orange helmet, and they're the Browns for some reason. Baseball is a gay version of cricket. Cricket? Nobody likes cricket. Stop it.
It's big in India.
Well, yeah. It's what the British used to do when they were beating the shit out of Gandhi. And it just kind of spread.
That's where the term wicked googly came from. That was a nickname for Gandhi.
Oh, man. Oh, I love me some sports, man. I think we need sports. There's a lot of people who hate it and, sports ball. Shut up. Sports is fun. And it's one of those things, Jack, that can bring people together.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest things you see in sports, and it's kind of fucked up, is if a player gets hurt. When a player gets hurt, everybody just stops and like, God, I hope he's okay. We hate each other while we're on the field and the fans hate each other. But if a player gets hurt, it's like, damn, all right, stop. And you don't actually wish hurt on another player. Because again, we're very, very superstitious, and you don't want that to be your fault. But yeah, it's neat the way that everybody comes together for that moment. Again, Raveline, thank you. Yeah, Baltimore made the Browns better. Go Ravens. You guys are still the Browns. You know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. The Browns that are out there in Cleveland right now, they're the second. They're the Browns 2.0.
Yeah, they're the pseudo Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, my old roommate, who used to be a big Browns fan, he absolutely hated the Ravens. He called them the traitors.
They were. Were they the ones that snuck out in the middle of the night, or was that Indy? I can't remember. There was one team that I think it was the Browns. Yeah, they snuck out in the middle of the fucking night, like thieves.
Like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Walking off with all his Nike money.
Viking says it was the Colts. Yeah, Baltimore Colts. It's so weird, man. Had to sneak out. Like what? They were gonna arrest you? Be men. Do it in the day. Shit. Hence why everyone hates soccer, because they fake injuries all the time.
Yeah.
I hate soccer because I think girls play it better than men, and that makes it not a sport.
Well, it's a little hotter when chicks do it because at least there's like women jiggling around. But yeah, I've seen plenty of soccer games over the years, free tickets. But it's fucking stupid. They're like, nobody will be near them and they'll just fall down grabbing their leg like a bunch of drama queens.
I love the videos on Twitter or on YouTube. Go onto YouTube, guys, if you've never seen them, and look up soccer player fakes injury. They are such drama queens. They don't just fall down and go, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, as soccer fans are some of the scariest human beings I've ever met in my life. But the teams themselves, man, they are a bunch of drama queens.
Gamer says the Colts are still Baltimore then. I agree. And the Chargers are still San Diego and will be forever in my heart. I don't care that they started in LA and now they're back in LA. They haven't been LA since they've been in the league, since the NFL formed as when the AFL joined them. They've been San Diego before then. So there's, San Diego. It's kind of like we don't celebrate the presidents who came before George Washington. There were some. Can you name any of them, Jack?
Presidents before Washington?
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. It is 5 a.m.
But still, they exist, but you can't name them.
There was the guy that was in charge during the Continental Congress. Probably would do this. I can't remember.
Nobody knows because nobody cares. Our country started, the country we have right now, with the Constitution. The Articles of Confederation were a fucking failure. We don't celebrate that shit. So I do not celebrate the LA Chargers. They're the San Diego Chargers. Just saying. Yes, I'm comparing my team to George Washington. It's okay.
No, he's a winner.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Your team's the British.
Look, we got rid of Rivers. We should be able to do better now.
I don't know what that means.
He was our quarterback.
Oh.
Really good quarterback, Jack. He's got all kinds of numbers. He'll end up in the Hall of Fame. Motherfucker chokes like a bitch. In the clutch, this bitch chokes. No Chargers should be celebrated. How dare you? Junior Seau is a god among men, or was, till he shot himself in the chest.
Jesus. Maybe that dude should learn to cheat like a patriot.
That's
all I know about the Patriots. They cheat all the time.
Yeah. They keep getting in trouble. Anyhow. How the fuck did we get on sports? Who started this? It wasn't me this time.
I blame you.
And Caramon, yes, LaDainian Tomlinson, Kellen Winslow, Dan Fouts, even Drew Brees. Drew Brees used to be a Charger. And the Chargers let him go for Phillip Rivers. And then Brees went on to get a Super Bowl ring while we sat at home. Gamer Vleen, thank you. They are Indy on the board in Baltimore, not Colts. On what board? I'm curious now.
I don't know. But Becca said we should check the hashtag for lovely ladies.
Oh, we have lovely ladies?
We always have lovely ladies over there.
Not always. I check. Believe it or not, guys, I check this morning. I'll let you know. Oh. Yeah, they haven't loaded in yet, but it's oh my. Oh, bottom left. Oh, yeah. You'll think she's a little too thick, but she's cute. Those panties are not good. Jack, do you see the one I'm talking about?
No, I haven't pulled up Twitter yet.
Oh.
I'm sure there's a lot of fatties on there, though.
Oh, my. Shio sent one in earlier with some sunglasses and a monkey on it.
Did you see the one Shio sent in? There's a couple of good ones from Shio.
Shio, that one has titties on it. That one has nipples.
Yeah, but there's a video that he posted that was fantastic.
Oh, somebody posted the naked screamers. Oh.
Oh yeah. Becca. Yeah. These. Oh, that one chick's gross.
Okay, so the second set, the one with the girl in the white at the top. That's the top left. God, 5 o'clock in the morning. The one with the white bustier kind of thing in the top left.
Yeah.
The one in the bottom right. Okay, you know, I can even bring this up. She's not horribly dressed.
She's cute.
She is.
I think the one in white's hotter. And even the one with the thick thighs,
damn it.
with the chick drinking, that's no. That's a no.
Okay. What I was bringing up, these are horrible. Those are horrible. Those look like granny panties.
Those are what I would immediately suspect is covering a giant muff, because she probably has an out of control hair problem down there.
Yeah, it comes all the way up to here.
Yeah, she looks like she might be a little Italian, so I'd be like, oh, she's got a hairy bush. I'm gonna insist that she shave everything before we get anything done.
She's a very beautiful girl.
She is. She's very beautiful, but that would really definitely hurt things for me.
This here, those are granny panties. I don't understand. Okay, which one did you say was? Oh, this one. Is that the one you said was gross?
Yeah, that ass. Something wrong with it.
Yeah, there's that.
It's fake.
She got some junk in that trunk. Oh, she's cute. I like that look. Yeah, she looks like she's gonna do nasty stuff for you. But she got those fucked up eyebrows. Stop it.
She's got a pretty face, decent rack, a little too big, but nice. But those thighs are just a little too big for me. But I'd bang it out with her, but I think she's a little too thick.
Yeah, I know you. This is a little big for you. I wouldn't have a problem with that. That's nice. And then here was the first one we're talking about in white. I really like that outfit.
Yeah, that's classy, sexy. She's a good looking chick. I like the long hair. Her boobs are probably a little big for me, but
yeah, those are kind of big and they're fake. Those have been amplified.
Yeah, well, I don't mind artificial ingredients.
Me neither. But when you're talking about them being too big, they were probably perfect to begin with.
Yeah,
and but this is the kind of thing. Like if Lady Monkey got this outfit, I want her to take a picture of it and send it to me. But when I got in the bedroom, I don't want that on her. I don't want to have to peel stuff. Just take that shit off. Turn up naked. I like them naked. That's Monkey's motto. And let's see this first round. Oh, those are some serious boots that girl got on. And she got some booty, but that booty's fake. Look how pushed out she has her ass to try to get a booty. That's all right. She's still cute. Oh, there was an Asian there for you, I'm assuming.
Asians are perfection. That's why.
Yeah, those are nice. Oh, that redhead is cute. But that swimsuit, no. All right, this is one we got to look at. We're not objectifying women here. I'm looking at the outfits. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's
it's like a diaper.
That's something that the fashion industry has decided to make women uglier.
Why are you doing that?
Because they hate men, dude. They hate men. Like that girl is pretty. Her boobs are way too big for me, but
those are natural.
Yeah, I could get over that. That's fine. They're bigger than I generally like them, but she's a very attractive girl. Mm-hmm. But it does look like she's wearing a diaper.
She's wearing a big blue diaper.
Yeah, and that's cool. Okay, ladies, don't support this nonsense. That we need common sense bathing suit control.
Yes,
this shit is out of control. That's step one toward burqas. Okay,
you're right. You know what? Because this is covering up more and more and more.
Yeah, these are early stage burkinis.
Look, I am not judging this woman. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful.
This is wrong.
Yeah, this is a crime against sexiness.
Dear Christ. Why? Don't wear diapers in public. What the hell?
Yeah, I hope she got paid for this photo because nobody should have to wear that kind of concealing stuff to purposely frumpy you up.
No.
Can you imagine if she had been a bigger girl? She would look really disgusting. She'd look like a hard-boiled egg with half a shell.
I do want to talk about this. This is actually it's a meme that was sent in. Not a funny one, just a one. It says, which is next? And it crosses out Redskins and Braves, Indians, Chiefs, Blackhawks. No native mascots. You know, in fairness, of the other three, I've never heard any of those derogatory. Redskin, I can kind of see the derogatory side of it. So hopefully the fans and the owners will be like, fuck you. No, we're not taking that off. We are honoring these people. We're honoring Braves and Indians and Blackhawks, you know?
Brave always sounded like somebody that's kind of badass.
You know what? I would love to see the Redskins change their name to something like the Washington Mohawks, the Washington Chippewas, something like that.
Yeah.
Actually name it after an Indian tribe. The Washington Choctaws. I don't know what Indian tribes are from around that area.
I don't know.
But yeah, take off the Redskin and name them after an actual Indian tribe out there. That would be funny. And it would piss people off. I think that would be great.
And you could even do it with a tribe that isn't around anymore just to avoid any whining from the locals.
That doesn't seem to be an issue. Jordan sent in some pictures. That's a girl dressed as Misty from Pokemon. Oh, it's the same girl in all four. I don't know what she's dressed as in these other ones. That's not Psyduck you're dressed as, honey. That's just a really, really small. You know what? I don't think any of these are bad. We can put this on the screen. We do this for educational purposes, guys. If you thank you, Frank Hubbard. The Indians need a red dot emblem. Oh, that would be funny.
Do it. India doesn't give a shit.
But she's dressed as Misty from Pokemon, and she's got I forget what the hell is the name of that stupid one.
I don't know. I don't know much about Pokemon.
I know the other Pokemon. Let's see here. She's just, getting her titty wet. Why look dirty? Was she leaking?
Maybe.
Here she is in a pool. She got Psyduck up there now. Togepi, thank you. That's his name, that little egg thing. I don't think she's supposed to be a Pokemon of any sort there. But then in this one, she's got Psyduck between her legs.
Yeah, she does. That last one's probably the best shot. She's a little thicker than I like them, but she's a good-looking chick, and I can recognize that. It's just not my type.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's got weird eyebrows. I have a thing for that. I love eyes, so I always look at the eyes, and if I see that fucking thing, like, stop fucking up your eyelid, let your brows come in normal.
Yeah, I don't know who Giadia Robin is. She's obviously an attractive woman, just not my type. And people give me shit for my taste all the time. You got to remember, I'm eliminating myself from your competition pool.
Right.
I'm doing you a favor by removing myself. That's one less person you have to compete with for these ladies' affections.
I argue with you out of, intellectual curiosity. I don't care who you actually like,
It's not well, you're already off the market by being married, but still.
True.
They're not stick figures. They're adorably thin, Brad. It's just one of those things where everybody has their different taste, and you want to find somebody to hang out with when you're going out to pick up chicks who has different taste, so that they're not competing with you. So your wingman should always be somebody that wants to jump on the chubby grenade. Yeah.
And don't make them like not as a default, man. There's a lot of guys who like chubby chicks.
Oh, absolutely. Most of my dude friends are into thicker chicks, what I would call fatties, and the rest of you would call normal. But I knew this dude that exclusively liked chicks that were like probably 250, 300 pounds. And he eventually married a heavier lady, but he was all about it. And I loved going out to the bars with him because, hey, man, there's the Duff. Get her.
Yeah, I know a guy like that. I've only known one person who liked him that big. I like him at you'd call fat. But I like a little meat on the bones. But yeah, this one dude, man, I actually got to see it in action. I stayed with my cousin. It was his friend, his roommate. And he told me that he's a chubby chaser. I'm like, nuh-uh. We go to the laundromat because they had to do their laundry. I was staying with him for several days. And so we go to do the laundry. And he tells me, he goes, watch this. There was a woman who worked at the laundromat. And she comes in and she was fucking huge, dude. She had to be 3 bills easy. And yeah, he just goes up and starts working game on her. I'm like, all right. I mean, you like what you like.
Yeah, I don't fault anyone for that, unless they're trying to compete with me for the attention of a beautiful Asian girl. And then they are horrendous monsters that should be destroyed.
There's a nice meme. Joe Biden, made in China.
That's awesome.
The only problem is the mask's on right. I haven't seen him with a mask on right yet.
Right, but you can see the stars from the CCP flag.
Yep.
Real quick. Thank you, Shiagrath. Now that Washington have agreed to drop the Redskins part of the name as it's considered offensive to the natives, America's gay male community have requested the Green Bay Packers do the same.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Shio.
They really should. That's not cool. What? The reason the leftoids really despise Tucker Carlson is libidinal? What the fuck does that mean? Jack, what does libidinal mean? You're an English major.
Are you sure you're pronouncing it correctly?
Libidinal. All right.
Related to libido?
I don't know.
A person's overall sex drive or desire for sexual activity.
Okay. Goes on to say he's not a bootlicker. They all are, and it kills them. And it says, plus he reminds him of the guys who kicked their ass in high school. Tucker?
Yeah, he's too masculine, is what that's saying.
Tucker?
Maybe if they were in chess club with him, he would be the alpha. But he's kind of a dork, let's be real. Like, I bet that dude's got some first edition Dungeons and Dragons books on his shelf.
Yeah. If you got your ass kicked in high school by people who look like Tucker, you're the nerd. Holy shit. Somebody like Tucker came up to me in high school and tried to hit me. I mean, he got destroyed. I've seen this story a couple of times, and I'm not going to show it because it's really horrific. But there's this little boy out there who saved his sister. Where was it? It was a dog charging at his sister, and he got in between him and her.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, guys, I'm guessing this kid, what is he? Maybe 7, maybe. And his little sister, it's his little sister. Yeah, and he got in front of it to save her. And he said, if someone had to die, I thought it should be me. This dog fucked him up, you guys. It ripped his cheek open from his mouth almost to his ear. And yeah, good on him. And I hope he has a great life. I really do.
Yeah, that poor kid.
Yeah, that's got to hurt like fuck, man.
Before the chat gets too out of control hating. Look, the first edition D&D books is a joke.
God damn.
That doesn't mean that anything. Wow. That one hit a nerve. I'm just saying it's not a puss magnet, okay?
Right?
I'd rather talk about my masturbation habits than my gaming books on a date.
It's probably a better idea.
Yeah, and even that's not a good idea. I read comic books, guys.
Back to this kid real quick. I just want to say, when he gets older and some boy starts sniffing around his sister, I would be very careful.
Right? That kid's hardcore.
And he really loves his sister.
And good for him. It took a lot of guts to do what he did. That kid's going to be pretty hardcore when he's older.
Mm-hmm. And he's not going to have D&D books on his shelf.
Well, he might. I don't know.
He's not going to tell people about it.
No, he's not going to tell anyone. No,
he's not going to have figurines. I guarantee it.
Collectibles.
I'm sorry, collectibles, dolls. I say that I have them. I have a Matchbox replica of the 69 or the 60s Batmobile. Well, it is in the 69 movie, but from the TV show as well. And I'm upset about it because it doesn't have the right wheels on it, Jack.
Oh.
Because the wheels should have the bat symbol on it.
Yeah, true.
And they don't. I was like, oh, fuck y'all. I still have it, and Little Butt stole it from me, so I don't know where the hell it is. Gamer Lean, thank you. Jack gets dates. I can smell the nerdiness. He doesn't talk about nerdiness until later.
Yeah,
that's the trick.
You wait till they get invested and then spring your nerd shit on them. You try not to talk about that at all, ever. But yeah, I'm a giant nerd. I don't fucking care. I get dates occasionally, but I gave up on marriage, so it doesn't matter.
Johnny says, hey, there's nothing wrong with nerdies. See what you did? See what you did? This time it wasn't me upsetting the audience. It was you.
Now, there's nothing wrong with nerdiness. You just don't tell women about it because sometimes you can hear their vaginas drying out.
Yeah.
Just his.
If you're gonna talk about that, you need to bring them a bottle of that fake feminine moisture shit.
Gross.
Here, you're gonna need this as I tell you about my level 3 cleric.
Oh, dude. I saw a dude do that to try and impress a stripper.
Oh.
Yeah, it was hilarious. This dude, he was a nice guy. His name was Mark.
Sure.
And he's a big dude, too, kind of awkward and very socially awkward. And he honestly, I think, was actually terrified of women. And a bunch of us went out because he was moving and I was moving. So a bunch of us from our gaming group got together and we went out to a strip joint. And we're having a good old time. And I got back from having a lap dance and sat down at the table. And there's this poor woman sitting next to him, trapped between him and one of our other friends. And he's telling her all about his D&D character.
No.
Like going into magic items, shit like that. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I have a bag of holding.
He's talking about, I got a +3 for this. And she's just like nodding along with that deer in headlights look like this guy's a serial killer.
Brown coats. That is one of my favorite lines from any movie. Pain heals, chicks dig scars, and glory lasts forever. It's Keanu Reeves in The Replacements. Great movie. I fucking love that movie. And that line, that's just awesome. Here's the thing, guys. You've heard us talk. We're fucking nerds.
Yeah.
We like comic books and D&D and video games, and we're fucking nerds. But you don't lead with that.
No, oh God, no. We spent an entire show talking about Lord of the Rings. So
yeah. You don't lead with that.
Yeah, you really don't.
Thank you, Gamer Valine. Find a nerdy chick. I can pick on Jack. I play WoW and collect old consoles and audio video equipment. Yeah, she actually has a lot of really cool stuff.
Oh, sure.
Kevin, thank you. Tucker is royalty. The government hired him immediately, and his mission was to tour with the Grateful Dead. No joke. Really? I know he comes from a very wealthy family and stuff, but he's still a nerd. You could shove him in a locker and have extra room.
Look, that's what I like about Tucker. He's just kind of this like dorky guy. Like he seems like somebody that would be in my gaming group, only way more right wing.
Look, what Gamer said there, you could find a nerdy chick, but you don't want a nerdy chick. I'm sorry, nerdy chicks. Listen to me. The kind that you can start with that, you don't want them. And you're never going to get to put your penis in it. And if you do, it's going to be dry.
It'll be weird. I've dated nerd chicks, and some of them are okay, some of them are not. So it really comes down to personality.
Once again, it depends on, like I said, if they're okay starting that way, they are very awkward too. Because you should leave with how you doing and talk about interests and stuff outside of gaming, because everybody knows that's not a good way to go. I'm going to start a gaming or a dating app for nerds, Jack.
Oh, you should.
Are you a socially awkward dipshit? Do you have trouble talking to girls? Now, the problem is there's only going to be one girl on there, and she's going to be popular as fuck.
Yeah.
You get 6 girls, Gamer says, or we are kinky. No, I'm not talking about all nerdy girls. See, they keep thinking it's everybody, Jack. We're not saying this stuff is bad. It's the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, you wait to slowly unveil these facts. You don't do it all at once on the first date. That's how you come off looking like a crazy cat person.
Yeah. Now, if you meet somebody through a D&D group, they come into it and you guys go out, that's different. But say you're at a comic shop, right, Jack? And she's looking at a book that you're interested in, and you go up there and you strike up a conversation about the book. When the conversation about the book ends, you don't go, by the way, I play D&D. Because that's too much. And if she starts that way, you go, I'm a pass.
Yeah. First of all, if you're talking to a chick at a comic shop, you're the only one talking to that chick at the comic shop, because most of the time when a girl walks in a comic shop, everybody gets weird.
Yeah.
It happens. Women, believe me, you're not seeing it if you think I'm lying, because most of the guys are going to be hiding behind long boxes in that corner like, is she gone? Or they'll think you're a narc or something, or just they'll be so socially awkward it'll be uncomfortable. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna you have good odds just by being the one that talks to them.
Dragon Maid says, I prefer Vampire the Masquerade. Well, see, that's another one you gotta be careful, because she might like vampires that sparkle.
Yeah. Evil Ferret said his girlfriend's hot. I don't look like a nerd. I waited until she was hooked before I showed her. Exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
You wait till they're emotionally invested, and then they have too much to lose.
Good night, Merle.
Merle.
Women are very forgiving about that kind of stuff, or understanding, I guess is a better word.
Yeah, plus if you've already got them emotionally invested, they'll just be defeated and give up because they're already emotionally invested.
Yeah, you just don't. What we're saying, don't start that way. We're trying. This is an educational show most of the time.
Yeah.
So don't nerd out at the beginning. That's all.
Yeah, don't tell them you have D&D. Tell them you have a support group.
Yeah, there you
go. Then they'll think you were in Iraq or something.
Yeah, or they might think you're just very sensitive, Jack.
Yeah,
and that can play very well these days. Yeah, you just got to be careful.
Yeah, you just got to craft it's not a lie. It's just it's a little misleading.
Plus, you guys are all fucking nerds.
Real fast. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Rogan is so disingenuous. He could literally have an episode on the difference on sympathy and empathy and why empathy is bad for politics, and 100% agree. Next guest, we need more empathy in politics. Joe, yeah, you're right. No counterpoint or explanation needed. You're not wrong. I don't like him.
I've not noticed that. I've noticed that that's become a common complaint about him. Yeah, somebody would have to give me examples of when that's happened. I see it a lot, but I watch quite a bit of Joe. But I haven't watched, Jack, probably even the Hannibal Buress one the other day. I only watched like the first 20 minutes of it.
I can't watch because every time I do, he starts talking about weed or DMT.
When he starts that, I turn it off.
Yeah, he just sits there like he's about to blow his microphone, and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah. I got like 5 questions for you.
As soon as he goes, have you ever tried DMT? Like, I'm done. Have a good one. And I probably missed some stuff, but yeah, I turn it off at that point. Same with we should get high. Like, yeah, I'll listen to a little bit if he's actually having a sincere argument about the legalization of pot. But he'll go on for days about that.
Oh, he can't stop talking about fucking weed and DMT. It's annoying, and I don't care. And the way he talks just puts me to sleep. I'm sure he's a good interviewer, but I haven't been conscious enough for it to actually find out.
Cameron says, Joe needed Tim Pool to do a tough interview. Not all interviews have to be tough. Sometimes, I don't even like that concept. I mean, if you're interviewing somebody that's been in a major situation, public situation that you're the first person to get them afterwards, okay, maybe. But sometimes it's okay to just let people explain what they're explaining. Toke Rogan is boring because of his damn marijuana addiction. Like I said, there's some that I absolutely love. There's a couple of episodes of his that I've watched more than once. But it's very, for me with Joe, it's entirely guest related. I really like the ones where he has comedians on. I like the ones where he has people that would have fit in on Art Bell's show. Those ones are always fun.
Yeah. Well, I miss Art Bell. George Norrie's really been sucking it up the last 10 years or so. Talk about crystals and healing and shit like that. I don't care about that garbage. I want to talk UFOs and weird conspiracy theories and lizard people. That's interesting shit. But yeah, I can't even watch those because I just find Joe's voice to be really boring.
That's fair.
He just
he's real quick.
He's like talking ASMR to his microphone. He's about to give it head.
Mighty Balzac, thank you for the donation. I cannot read that last word. I know what it is. I cannot read it on the air, but thank you so much for the donation. I like my channel, Jack.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And I get in enough trouble. And that's one that'll get flagged. Sorry, bud. I appreciate it, but yeah, I cannot read that out loud. Phoenix has like 15 bars that cater exclusively to gamer nerds. And I bet you it's mostly dick in there.
What?
I said, I bet you it's mostly dick in there.
Yeah, there's a Dungeons and Dragons bar in Denver. And they have like board games you can rent and stuff like that. It's like a date destination for dorks. It's pretty cool. Buddy of mine's been there. It showed me photos, but not where I would take a first date. You wait till like 6 months in for that shit.
Joe Rogan's best stuff was back on news radio. I loved news radio until Phil Hartman died.
Yeah.
Yeah. How quickly do you think Art Bell would have been banned from social media? Probably not, because he didn't. What the one that they went after Alex Jones for was specifically Sandy Hook. Like, how dare you question those kids? And I don't think I've ever heard anybody on Art Bell that was in that range. They were always, UFOs or government conspiracies, that kind of shit. I think you could still get away with that right now.
I disagree. I think Art Bell probably would have been banned for pushing conspiracy theories because he talks to people from every aspect. So I think he would have probably been banned for pushing like false narratives and not just flat earth shit, but like he'd talk to the anti-COVID people too.
Well, and here's the thing. Maybe the COVID one would get him. But like, I don't think you would have a problem with 9/11 conspiracy folks or JFK conspiracy folks. When they dropped the hammer on conspiracies, they literally only did it to Alex Jones.
That really is pretty true. I don't know. I think he probably would have been booted off because they won't like what he's saying. He was much more open than a lot of the people now.
And I think I think he would still get away with it because he also didn't come off as politically motivated one way or the other most of the time. Where Alex Jones is clearly on the right, and sometimes righter than most people. Did you know Jordan Peterson is back making videos? I didn't. I'll have to check it out. I can't listen to Jordan too often. I like Jordan Peterson. I used to like listening to his lectures and stuff because there's several of those online. But I can only listen in like 15-minute increments because his voice puts me to sleep. It really does. I love it. I love listening to him because he thinks out loud. And you can tell a lot of the time he has a point, but he didn't like make notes for himself. He's just talking. And I like watching him work it out in his head, how he wants to explain it.
Yeah, I think he's a really smart guy, and I hope he doesn't get all fucked up from his crazy daughter.
I don't know what went on with him, like when he had to go to Russia and shit, because he was really sick. I hope he's still fine. I mean, his wife dying and all that fucked him up.
Yeah.
And I understand it. I understand. Monkey keeps mixing Jordan Peterson up with Scribe. No, I don't. I can tell them apart. Jordan puts you to sleep. Well, one of the reasons that I can, if you're watching Jordan when he's just doing like when he's talking to the camera ones, when he'd be answering questions and stuff, it's a lot different than when he's doing his lectures where his voice goes up and down and there's at least some change to it. When he's just sitting there, oh my God, he's so fucking monotone. It's like, dude, get a different pitch once in a while. Raise your voice. Get excited.
They don't get excited.
His wife is okay, and he was on Michaela Peterson's podcast last week. Oh, she survived? I thought she died.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know they said he started his drug problem because she was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good reason to have a drug
Yeah.
problem. That'll fuck anyone up.
Yeah. He underwent a ketamine-induced coma to quickly cope with painkiller addiction. Yeah. And I understand that too. Like I said, I was on a very, very small dosage of that shit. And coming off that was 2 of the worst days of my entire life.
Yeah.
Monkey, purple hair chick in Portland. Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a camera chick for Concrete. She's interviewing people.
Oh, yeah, she's kind of cute, but she did that fucking eyebrow thing and her hair is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd still put it in her. She's pretty
Sure. Yeah. But she's a lefty, so you don't tell her where you live.
No, and I won't give her my real name.
No.
So
my name's Jordan Peterson.
No, my name is Matt Jarbo.
That works too. Couldn't call myself that. Caramon says, yeah, painkillers ain't no joke. Yeah, and he got really fucked up from it. And I wish him well because he's not a bad guy. It was funny to me that most of the complaints against Jordan Peterson come from him trying to help men become better people.
Yeah.
That's what his book was about. It's trying to help men specifically. Women could take the advice too, but men who are growing up without strong male role models, which we've discussed before, Jack. That's a fucking problem. And like, how dare you try to help men, you sexist fuck?
Yeah, bastard.
Yeah, it was fucked up, man. And the people just absolutely bathing themselves in him needing to go to therapy and having a breakdown over his wife getting diagnosed with terminal cancer, you shitbags.
Yeah, that would break anyone.
Well, he says you got to be self-reliant and get help when needed. He needed it. That I think it was Sinatra's video on that was just so well done, pointing out what shitbag, hypocritical dicks these people are. Don't quote me that it was Sinatra. I know I watched several videos about it when that happened. But yeah, they want to tear him down because he wanted to help men get better, to better themselves. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Brownco says, sober about 6 months. I feel a hell of a lot better. Congratulations, sir. And good luck on staying that way.
Yeah, good job, man.
Yeah, addiction's a bitch, man.
Yeah, it's awful. I hate seeing people have to go through that withdrawal and stuff, but man, it's good to get better and stay alive. Live your life.
What's the line from Hamilton? Dying's easy, living is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's a true story. True story. Dying just takes that one moment, right? And it's not worth it. Stay alive. Enjoy. This is a wonderful world, man. We got all kinds of wonderful shit. You can look at boobies anytime you want as long as you got some kind of access to the internet.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? We didn't have that shit when I was a kid.
No, we had to go find somebody that had an uncle or a dad with a magazine collection.
Yeah. And if you got real desperate, it's not a joke looking at catalogs, you guys. I may have once or twice touched myself to a catalog.
Yeah, man. JCPenney's catalog was a good friend in hard times.
The Victoria's Secret one, because they started sending those out. Oh, I remember this chick it was a purple lacy thing. Yeah, she may have made an appearance or two in my spanking sessions. Mr. Scott, thank you. Can you send Becca to the corner? She made a bad Bubba's Better Butter joke. I don't like how she implied how she would use it. No, Becca's a sweetie. Sorry. Becca has quickly ascended to the don't fuck with Becca. She's not quite a nuts, and I'm sorry for that, Becca, but nuts is like a nuts is the top tier of the internet unless Lady Monkey's on. Yeah, and then there's Becca.
They're internet angels.
Yes. They're sweethearts, and they will never be mistreated in my chat. How dare you? Gotta stretch. Jack, we're at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna wrap up here.
Cool.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one. We've been all over the place again. I like when we're all over the place. We got lots of stuff for people to grab onto and hate us for.
Yeah, well, life's like that.
Shio says you ain't heard the stories talking about Becca. Look, I don't need to hear stories. Becca treats me very nicely. She's very sweet to me in any stream I'm in. Mm-hmm. And she's been that way for a long, long time. And you will not disrespect her. She's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are very, very generous. I really do appreciate it. Jack, would you like to shill anything, my friend?
I'll throw a link in the chat. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, tonight I'll be on Polydub's channel for the weekly comic book curation. So tune in for that. We'll send the link out. But thanks for everything, guys. You're awesome for showing up.
Johnny says, I stream with Becca 3 nights a week. Fuck right off. You can stream with her 7 nights a week. It won't change the reality here, my friend.
That's the world of Monkey's channel is a separate world.
Is indeed. I make the rules here. Tonight we're going to be on my channel for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be doing a game stream here. I don't know. Whenever I stop talking to Jack. So, come hang out on both. I game on Ranting Monkey Games. The link is down below. Follow me on Twitter and follow Jack on Twitter. That's how you know I go live, guys, because YouTube won't tell you. I like a subscription, so please subscribe, but make sure you click that Twitter link so you can come hang out. Thank you for joining me, Jack. It's a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thou shalt not insult Becca, you dick.